Well, the paths have been very different for the Defiance and University out of Huntington Valley baseball programs. But rest assured, at the end of the day, they don't ask you how. They just ask you how many. And both have continued to win, earning themselves a spot in the very coveted next to last week of the season, regional semifinal baseball. We'll see the Bulldogs and the Preppers. Somebody will punch their ticket to tomorrow's regional finals, while the loser will head back home and pack up the gear until next season. Welcome aboard, everybody. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is on the air. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller, as we've got the Bulldogs at 17-9 overall. They finished the WBL at 7-2, good for first place, against the independent Huntington Valley Preppers at 25-5 overall. The Bulldogs enter this afternoon on a 4-game win streak. The Preppers a 6-game win streak. Somebody will be moving on at the end of this afternoon. And Scoop, we've had a chance to talk to both coaches. We had a chance to go down on the field and just kind of get a feel for what the atmosphere is like in both teams' dugouts. And to be honest with you, very businesslike, both down the first base and third base line here this afternoon.
And for good reason. I think this regional is going to be wide open. It's going to come down to being ready to play, executing at a high level. And both these teams, not just great seasons this year, but last year traditionally two very good programs. Last year, Huntington Valley University got to the state championship game and lost a tough 1-0 decision. And, of course, Defiance had that amazing regular season last year, but was an early exit in the tournament. So Defiance reaching the regional tournament for the 21st time. Going to try to make some hay here this afternoon against a very outstanding Preppers squad here today.
Well, and you mentioned Defiance, and we were down on the field, had a talk again with Coach Weaver, and he was just ecstatic for this year's roster to get this far. And they didn't want to open up old wounds, but they did talk about it before this season started. As you mentioned, Scoop, 22-2 last year, a heavy favorite, not just to get to Akron, but to also win Division III's championship, and yet they make an exit in the first round of the playoffs. Now, again, Tiffin Calvert won that game. There's no question about it, and you tip your cap to the opponent sometimes, but at the same time, this year's senior class, who sat and waited, not just last year, but the year prior. Those juniors then became seniors last year, and they really took the spotlight, and deservedly so, an incredibly talented group. But this year's senior class never complained. They never got antsy. They never got selfish. They just stayed ready, and man, has it paid off this season. Whether they take this one and continue to tomorrow or not, Coach Weaver said this has been an exceptional season. He's very pleased for this senior class.
Well, he should be. Just what an incredible group this is. And as you mentioned, kind of been in the shadows of that outstanding senior group a year ago, but those guys have not just put in the time, they put in the work, and they're very talented. We saw that throughout the season. And again, they play some good baseball to get to this juncture, now trying to make the most of it. And we talked to players on both sides, and both teams' players really ecstatic about the facility here in Avon. Forefront Field is home to a lot of great baseball events throughout the year, and both teams really excited, not just to be in the regional, but to have an opportunity to play on such a fantastic field and facility.
Well, we're going to start with the pitching, and we saw just a second ago there Ike Webb, the starter for the Defiance Bulldogs. And again, they're hoping to get a strong start out of the junior. He has looked good. He had a little bit of an inconsistent early start to this season. He's 1-3 on the year. And again, you take a look at what he's done so far this season. I'm looking up here. Actually, I stand corrected. I was looking at situational. So let me hit the reset button myself. We're looking at Ike Webb, and he is 7-2 in 10 appearances. He's had 8 starts. He's also got 6 complete games. He's thrown 63 1/3 innings. He's allowed 44 hits, 16 runs, all but 2 earned. He's walked 15 while striking out 83, so better than a 3-to-1 ratio. Opponents hitting just 191 against him, and he has a very stingy 1.55 ERA, but he's really on. As there you take a look at him, you'll know it when that curveball is actually a curve and that arm slot isn't dropping down to about 3/4 and turning into a bit of a hybrid.
Yeah, that's going to be the key, I think, for the junior Ike Webb. He's got to command that 12-6 curveball. When it has that 12-6 action to it, he is nearly impossible to hit. You talked about opponents sitting below the Mendoza line against them on the season, and that 5-1 strikeout walk ratio. So he can locate that 12-6 and doesn't have that drop down where it slurves a little bit. That's going to be a key.
And there you're taking a look at his counterpart here this afternoon. And, folks, the stats on the Preppers hurler are going to read like somebody that basically recently joined the team. Deacon Nelson is a senior, and he is signed to play at Auburn, but as a shortstop. However, he's also got a cannon for an arm, very live. And as we talked about it, these aren't typos, folks. He's only pitched in 3 games all season. He started to take the mound in the last 4 weeks. He hasn't allowed a single earned run. He's walked 4 while striking out 20, and opponents hitting just a $167 against him. But he's going to be somewhat of an enigma. As we talk with Coach Weaver, there's not a whole lot of film on him for this season.
Well, there's not. You mentioned those 12 innings, and I think 9 of those 12 have come in tournament play. So a guy they really haven't needed on the bump, but their number 1 guy, Crew Bellin, who threw a 3-hitter down in Akron at Canal Park
eligible
in the state finals. Yep. He threw enough pitches on Friday. He's ineligible to pitch until he's cleared tomorrow. So they're going to probably use a staff today.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly you're not going to feel sorry for him. You got a guy that's going to Auburn, but again, he's going as a hitter, but he does have a great arm. But I would think realistically that Coach Rob McNerney of the Preppers would like to get maybe 3 or 4 innings from him and then turn it over to the bullpen, and they have a really good 3 and 4 behind him, no question about it.
There you see both coaches. You did see them at home plate there, exchanging some handshakes and some lineup cards with the Blue Crew. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to break down the keys to the game, also give you our starting lineups. Don't go anywhere. It is the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. You are watching it courtesy of some extra sponsors this season, folks. We really want to thank these individual sponsors for helping us make the trip over here and help us basically bring you this broadcast by making sure their financial support continued well after the regular season was over. Again, Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Bank, and, of course, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco. We're going to take a quick time out. We're back with more right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Back at Forefront Field in Avon, beautiful. This is what you call a Chamber of Commerce afternoon. Clear blue skies, plenty of sunshine, a little bit of a breeze to take the edge off of things, but temperatures in the upper 70s. And, of course, you're playing on one of the finest fields that you're going to play on all season long. It is now time to go ahead and get ready for baseball as the University Preppers, independent, 25-5 overall versus the Defiance Bulldogs out of the Western Buckeye League at 17-9. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Time now for a look at your keys to the game. Scoop, let's start with the University Preppers. They are technically going to be the visitors for this afternoon's game. And, man, 25-5 is awfully impressive. As you mentioned, no strangers to Akron and the state tournament finals. But they're going to walk into this one with some confidence. You still have to execute. What do they need to do?
Well, I think for the Preppers, it's going to start with plate discipline. This is something they really have hung their hats on over the years. The Preppers come in scoring 9 runs per contest on the season, but they're going to be patient at the plate. They're going to lay off the off-speed pitches early. They will hunt the fastball early if they get it, but it's going to be important for them that they lay off that 12-6 hammer, I think, early in the count. Try to force Ike Webb to throw something across hard of the plate. And I think the second key for the Preppers is it's going to be timely hitting. This is the team that has a really good team batting average. The Preppers come in at 343 on the season, so they have the ability to hit the ball, but they have to come up with those big hits at the right time if they want to move on to the regional final here at Forefront Field tomorrow night.
On the flip side, for the Bulldogs, Coach Weaver and company, what do they need to do to be right back here tomorrow evening?
Well, I think for the Bulldogs, it's going to start with reducing strikeouts, and that's been something the Bulldogs have been really good at all season. I think they come in averaging just about 5 strikeouts per contest, so they've done a nice job putting the ball in play. They will be challenged with the big arm we'll see from Deacon Nelson, the Auburn commit. But I think the second key for Defiance is going to be a lot of first pitch strikes for Mike Webb. We talked about some of those offensive numbers that University has. So I think it's going to be important he's able to get first pitch strikes, control the count, get those Preppers to hit his pitch where he can stay in command, use his whole full arsenal. If they get done these areas, they can move to tomorrow night's championship right here in Avon.
So those are the keys to the game. We're going to have the starting lineups brought to you by Baker Schindler Company just around the corner. Again, our thanks going out to our specialty sponsors helping bring you this broadcast here this afternoon. Again, our sponsors, Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco. We will have the Baker Schindler Company starting lineups right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
West Banco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused West Banco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Back at Forefront Field, and you get a good look at our grandstand camera. There is space here. It's like, finally, our eaglet cameramen have room to fly here this afternoon. They were all walking around, just smiles on their faces. Scoop, this is an absolutely fantastic facility, and our thanks going out to the administration and the staff here at Forefront Field for making space in the press box for us.
Yeah, fantastic facility. And as we mentioned, both teams, players, very excited just to walk on this field, knowing they're going to get a chance to play it up here. And with a lot on the line here, we might add as well.
Let's go ahead and take a look at your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. Baker Schindler Company, proud to serve the area with the finest contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company. Let's go ahead and start with the visitors. The the University. I'm just going to call them University. I know when you get all the nomenclature down, and Huntington Valley University School is technically the term, but we're just going to call them the University Preppers. And, man, are they prepared for this afternoon. James Bucci, the shortstop, hitting .319 on the season, will lead it off. Jack Nelson roaming center field, hitting .359. Deacon Nelson, as we mentioned, the Auburn commit. Again, primarily to play shortstop, but he will be on the bump this afternoon. Scoop, he isn't just hitting a healthy .440. His on-base percentage is .628. Out of your 3-hole, he is getting on almost 3 out of every 4 trips at bat.
Yeah, just video game type numbers. And as a team, University comes in with an incredible .490 on-base percentage overall. So they're getting on base really every other at bat, and that's a big reason they're scoring 9 runs per contest through 30 games.
Bobby Berglund, the junior catcher, hits cleanup, batting .391. Miles Wolf, the right fielder, will bat 5th. Jonathan Pleasant at second base, hitting .326 in the 6-hole. And then the dirty third of the lineup, the bottom of it, Jack Childs will be in left field, hitting .267. Caden Zelnick, the DH, hitting a healthy .354 with an on-base percentage of .538. And Will Allen, the first baseman, in the 9-hole, hitting .312. Scoop, only one batter in that lineup hitting under 300.
Yeah, it's just crazy. They have such great numbers, but I think if you're Defiance, you're going to try to find a way to pitch around the Auburn commit Deacon Nelson if the opportunity presents itself.
Let's take a look at the defense for head coach Rick Weaver and the Defiance Bulldogs as the non-starters being introduced for both rosters. Ike Webb, again, we gave you his numbers. The junior right-hander on the bump on the season. He's 7-2 with a 1.55 ERA, 15 walks against 83 strikeouts, so better than a 3-to-1 ratio. Sophomore Colt Ward will be the other half of the battery. From left to right on the infield, it goes senior, sophomore, senior. Drew Allegretti at third, Jaron Hansberger at short, Jace Brownlee at second, and Braden Weaver at first. From left to right in the outfield, it goes Grady Christ, Will Horvath, and Daniel Orta. And as I look out into center field, the colors are lying flat. Very limp right now, Scoop. It was a mild breeze when we were down on the field, but you really couldn't feel it much. I didn't think it was going to be much of an impact. And if the current conditions are any indication for the remainder of this ball game, the park and the weather are going to play pretty true here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's as true as I've seen it here at Forefront Field in a while. Usually you get a little lake effect, you get some breeze, but as you mentioned, the flag blowing straight down right now, so wind should not be a factor.
Again, we were down on the field. It's supposed to be in the upper 70s here this afternoon, but even when we were down there before both teams took infield, they call it feet heat. That turf really radiates a lot of extra temperature, and it was plenty warm when we were down there. I'm looking at the color of the uniforms, not to say that that should be anything more than a fashion sense, but Defiance in the lighter gray uniforms with the blue lettering and numerals. The Preppers are wearing all black with white pinstripes. How hot is that dugout going to get as the afternoon wears along?
It's going to get hotter and hotter. The fact that the turf will absorb that sun, and we have plenty of it, which is a great thing. But it is probably 12 degrees warmer on the turf than it would be sitting in the bleachers. So as the day wears on, especially those dark uniforms, it will be hot.
All right, as we are getting set, the starters being introduced. Getting ready for first pitch. It was about an hour drive for University High School to get here. I'm guessing it was probably about a good 2.5 hours from Defiance, somewhere that, especially when you're on the bus.
Probably pushing 2.5 on a bus.
We made slightly better time in my Chevy Equinox, but I'd like to talk to Esther Chevrolet Cadillac about maybe being a pitch man, getting a nice Blazer, just, for a weekend test drive or something. We are going to step out here for the playing of our national anthem. Starters and non-starters being introduced. We're getting set for first pitch. This one brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office.
At this time, please rise and move your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
and the Star Spangled Banner. Our thanks going out to our underwriter, the Defiance County Veterans Office, as we are getting set to play ball. Division III regional semifinal playoff action. 17-9 Defiance. They will be the home team. 25-5 University. And as Scoop mentioned, no strangers to the playoffs, deep runs in the playoffs, and really making a trip to Akron for that matter. Scoop, if Defiance is going to take this one this afternoon, no question about it, they're going to have to earn it.
Oh, no doubt about it. University not only has that strong tradition, they've got a lot of key pieces back from that team that finished the D3 state runner-up in a tough 1-0 decision to Newark-Licking Valley. But again, both teams playing some really good baseball right now. Defiance comes in on a 4-game winning streak, but on the flip side, you have a 12-game winning streak for Huntington Valley University. I'm sorry, 6-game winning streak, but they've won 12 of their last 13, so they've really played lights out. They also have really beefed up their schedule. They play the big boys, so they look at Defiance as just another big game for them, something they've seen many times this year.
Men in blue, we didn't get their names, and nobody in the press box has been given anything official, so we cannot give them the credit or identification as to who is going to be where on the field, but we can tell you this, there are 4 of them. So every base will be occupied. Of course, the lines, depending on the positioning here, going to be the men assigned down each baseline. The baselines here, there's a lot of foul room, probably what would you say, about halfway down both foul lines, and then things taper in very, very quickly because the bullpens for both teams are there. So they've made a good use of what space they've had here, but they've kind of had to shoehorn this field in at an angle. And Scoop, there might be, 2 or 3 feet once you get to the 325 marks in the foul poles, both down left and right field.
I think you're being generous with 2 or 3 feet, but again, the bullpen's exactly like Wrigley Field out there.
Yes.
You've got twin mounds out there that are fan-friendly if you're down there warming up.
Depending on who you're rooting for. The dimensions here at Forefront Field, 325 down the right and left field foul lines. In the power alleys, they don't have anything listed, but I'm going to guess it's pretty standard, probably 370, 375. And, of course, it would take a poke to get it out of here straight away to center field, 400. As James Bucci, shortstop, Auburn commit, digs in. First pitch swinging, sends a shot to short. Diving stop by Hansberger. Long throw, and it's not going to be in time. That actually pulled Weaver off the bag, and he did a nice job to keep that in front of him, but that's going to go down as an infield single.
Yeah, no question about it. And as we talked about, University not afraid to hunt an early fastball, and that's what Bucci got. And quickly he's aboard with that infield single.
It didn't just come off his bat like you would normally, Scoop. It exploded off of his bat. As they throw over, and boy, he was thinking about it. They run him back quickly. As this brings up Jack Nelson. Nelson, speedy center fielder, hitting .359 on the season. Webb working out of the stretch. Deals. Misses low.
Yeah, that time an off speed looked like a changeup from Ike Webb that misses downstairs.
There you get a good look at the tall, lanky right-hander. Has mound presence, doesn't say a whole lot. Very focused. This one misses inside. 2-0.
Right now, Nelson could be sitting dead red here looking for that fastball we talked about, something they will certainly go after in the early stages of the count.
Runner goes. Ward's throw down to second on one hop, and that's just speed. James Bucci in with the stolen base. The pitch was a strike, so it's 2-1, but just like that, very aggressive on the base paths, and the Preppers have the go-ahead run already in scoring position.
Yeah, strong throw that time by Colton Ward as he used the turf there, one hopper right where it needed to be, but the speed by Bucci, he's clearly under the tag.
And do we have some extra chirping coming from the first base dugout? And the Preppers are being warned right now by the home plate umpire. Don't know what he heard, but it was clearly loud enough, and he didn't like it, so they're getting a scolding. 2-1. Janet never scolds you, does she?
Not yet.
After so many years of wedded bliss, Scoop's lovely wife. This one, a strike on the inside corner, well placed by Webb, and the count evens up at 2-2.
Tremendous pitch that time by Webb. You could not have put it in a better spot. And after falling behind 2-0, Webb now has evened things up at 2-2. And right now, if you're Nelson, try to hit behind Bucci. Get him a third base here, less than 2 outs.
Well, this one upstairs he didn't need to offer, and the count runs full. So Webb has given the advantage right back to Jack Nelson here. He's undoubtedly going to be sitting fastball with a 3-2 count. Bucci has a very healthy lead at second, and Webb's aware of him. He'll step off.
Yeah, smart play there by Webb. You know, you want to zero in on Jack Nelson, but you also know the speed of Bucci on second. You do not want him to swipe third. Huge payoff pitch coming up here by the junior Ike Webb.
3-2, Webb deals. Got him on the inside corner. A backwards K and a West Banco strikeout for the first out of the ball game.
What a pitch that time by Ike Webb. Not only did he get that strike he needed, but he spotted it perfectly at the knees on the corner. A big strikeout there for Ike Webb.
So here's Deacon Nelson. I might have inadvertently said Bucci was signed to Auburn to lead things off. It's this young man that's digging in from the left side.
And he's been signed as a hitter, not as a pitcher. So, again, you have to really be smart here. You got first base open.
This one framed on the outside corner. Again, talking with the assistants earlier before the team actually arrived, they were saying that Deacon Nelson projects as a shortstop for the Tigers. 0-1. What we know is he's a hitter. 440 average, a 628 on base percentage. This one misses in the cellar, 1-1.
Yeah, these guys play the big boys, so he's not hitting those kind of numbers against some smaller schools that they're beating up on. These guys travel the state looking for the best competition.
Yeah, they are independent. They do not have a conference, which gives them a lot of flexibility in their schedule. A couple of their assistants were telling us, too, some schools said yes, played them once, and now won't return their phone calls at all.
Yeah, I'm sure they run into that quite a bit. The reason they probably have to go down to Dayton and Cincinnati and all over Ohio to get a competitive roster or schedule.
2-1 misses upstairs with the heat. Nelson being very disciplined. 3-1.
I'm not sure Ike Webb's missing right now. This is all by design. You know, they had that 12-6 backdoor bender to start things out, but he's not going to miss across the plate here.
No. 3-1. Was that an unintentional, intentional walk?
That's exactly what it was. Again, he really hit a spot, I thought, in all 5 pitches, but credit Nelson. You know, some guys won't take the walk, but if you're putting up those kind of numbers, that means you're willing to take that walk. You're not leaving the zone. That brings up their insurance policy behind him, the junior Bobby Berglund, hitting .391.
Not shabby for the cleanup man. Heavy hitting catcher, digs in deep in the right-handed box. Off the plate by about a step. Webb deals and humps it up, but a little high.
Yeah, that fastball had plenty of velo behind it. That had to be probably 87, 88 there, but well out of the strike zone.
Webb from the belt. Checks Bucci at second. He gets a great secondary lead, and this one was that inside or was that low in your opinion?
I think it just missed hitting the corner. You know, pretty good spot there.
Very good spot.
It looked like it was just at the top of the knees, but a good hold by Berglund. Now he can sit dead red looking for something that's nitro zone.
Deals here, and Webb isn't getting that inside corner at all, and you can tell by his body language there, he thought he had a strike, and he's going to take a little time and step off the mound.
Yeah, I think he really thought he had those last 2 pitches, really hit the glove there, Colt Ward, but again, just off the edge of the river.
So here we go with the 3-0. Right down central for a strike, get me over fastball, and now you know Bobby Berglund's just salivating for the same pitch.
Yeah, and right now I think he's just sitting dead ready, just looking for a fastball only, something he can barrel up.
3-1. Infield back at double play depth. This one, a chopper to short. Hansberger takes a terrible hop. He throws off his back foot. Wow. That ball almost corkscrewed around him. He really had to extend, and that was a tremendous play by the Bulldog shortstop.
It was an incredible play that time by Hansberger. That ball was hit off the end of the bat, had that English on it, and once it landed on the turf, it looked like it was going to take a 90-degree turn towards second base, but somehow Hansberger gloved it, and had the only play he had was at first base, but that is a big second out.
It allows Webb to concentrate on the hitter. Number 5 hitter, Miles Wolf, batting .318 on the season. A couple of ducks on the pond, both in scoring position. Webb trying to work his way out of a first-inning jam.
And there's that 12-6 hammer, but that one stays upstairs. So once again, Webb falls in a hole, 1-0.
Out of the stretch. Webb deals. He just reached back and humped that one up, and I'm going to guess upper 80s on that fastball. Strike one.
Well, you're right. That thing might have even touched 90. You know, typically he can get up to 88, 89, but boy, that one, that had plenty of juice behind it. Good-looking pitch to even up the count.
1-1. Tight, compact delivery. Comes right at him again. Wolf was sitting on it, but a little late, fouls it away, and now Webb ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, this is normally where you think about burying one, trusting Colt Ward, but with a runner at third, you can't necessarily get too sloppy here.
No, I think you have to execute, hit your pitch, try to locate one just off the edge or at the top of the strike zone.
1-2 on the way, brings that bender. Cold strike 3 on the outside corner. A West Banco strikeout. And how about that? Ike Webb into a jam. Ike Webb out of a jam. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left the board, both in scoring position. We've played through 1/2 inning. Preppers nothing. Bulldogs coming to the plate. You are watching Division III Baseball Regional Semifinal Playoff Baseball on DCTV, presented by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco on DCTV.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Back at Forefront Field in Avon, just south of Cleveland. Gorgeous facility, gorgeous weather, and 2 of the best teams in Division III squaring off for the right to play in tomorrow night's regional finals. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Well, we just saw one of the Bulldog aces. Now you take a look at, and again, don't let the numbers fool you here. This young man is a Division I athlete. Now he does project as a shortstop, but Deacon Nelson, the senior, right there, you take a look at him, has signed to play at Auburn. Ironically, the Tigers playing later tonight in an elimination game in the first round of the regionals. Upstart Troy, shocking a lot of people in that regional. So, but right now his focus is getting the Preppers on to the next round. And Scoop, again, very small sample size, but it's also very impressive.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's hard to believe a guy throwing the biggest game of the season has only thrown 12 innings all year, but it's kind of out of necessity. We talked about the fact they're number 1, threw enough pitches on Friday. He cannot come back and throw until tomorrow, so they're going to have to go with their 2, 3, and 4 here today. I look for the Preppers to maybe use all 3 of those guys if necessary to try to retire the Bulldogs. But again, Nelson's got some really good numbers. That 20 strikeouts and 4 walks, 5-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, very impressive. He can up it up just like we saw Ike Webb. He's a guy that can get it up into the upper 80s easily, but he's really just a 2-pitch mix guy. He's going to be a guy that will mix in a 12-6 curveball as well, but those are really his only 2 pitches. He might throw a changeup just as a show pitch.
It's a show me.
But pretty much he's going to kind of live off that fastball he has.
Well, we're going to give you the Defiance lineup after this first pitch to leadoff hitter Colt Ward as the sophomore catcher digs in. Takes a little bit of heat just above the letters. And let's take a look at your Defiance 9. Colt Ward leads it off. Batting second, Jaron Hansberger. Sophomore second baseman Jace Brownlee hits third as this one's well tagged into center field, and they had him played perfectly as Jack Nelson barely has to move. Hauls it in for the first out. Mason Nort will be your DH. Drew Allegretti hitting behind him is a little insurance. Braden Weaver will be at first base. Grady Christ in left field. Daniel Orta. And then Will Horvath, the center fielder. And you see the team batting average just .246 on the season. They have had to manufacture runs this season, I should say, and they'll probably have to do so this afternoon as Jaron Hansberger digs in from the right side.
Yeah, Defiance hitting almost 100 points below Huntington Valley University on the season.
This one down the right field line, slicing away from Wolf, but again, the scout has him played well, and just like that, there's two down.
Yeah, excellent job that time. Defiance has barreled up a couple balls nicely here, but with the first one, we saw Jack Nelson didn't have to move, and that time Wolf got a good jump off the baseball, made that an easy catch. 2 quick outs here for Defiance in the home half of inning 1.
Jace Brownlee, sophomore second baseman, hitting in the 3-hole, batting just above the Mendoza line at .206. Takes upstairs for ball 1. Outfield, for the most part, straight away and normal play depth. It looks like maybe from our angle, Jack Nelson is shading just a bit towards left center and playing a little more shallow than the rest of his counterparts as the wind now starting to pick up a little bit. I'm looking at the colors out in center field, and it is really starting to whip. You can probably hear it over our crowd mic. It's blowing in. As speaking of in, nice job to paint the inner third there for a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, good looking 2-0 pitch that time by Nelson. Really hit his spot, a tough pitch to hit, probably a good hold.
Brownlee takes in the same spot, takes another strike. Okay, now you've seen it twice, Scoop. Does he try and triple him up here, or does he work him away with something else?
First time I've seen him, so I would think you're going to stay with the heat, but again, you don't want to usually triple a guy up because he has seen a couple, but has not swung at one yet. We'll see what happens.
He'll have to be protecting here with 2 strikes. This one high and outside, and a full count. So after going quickly, Ward and Hansberger each on just 2 pitches, Brownlee has worked the count full.
Yeah, it looks like that maybe is his go-to pitch, that fastball, that one well upstairs.
Payoff on the way, swing and a miss, so West Bank goes strikeout. And Defiance goes in order here in the bottom of the first. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1 at Forefront Field in Avon. No score. Defiance and University. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Top of the second, Ike Webb pitched himself out of a jam in the top of the last frame. Preppers left runners at second and third, but he struck out Miles Wolf looking on a nasty 12-6 bender. So he will face 6, 7, and 8 here in the top of the second for University. Jonathan Pleasant, the second baseman, will lead it off. Jack Childs, the left fielder, on deck, and Caden Zelenik, the DH, hitting .354 with an on-base percentage of .538 out of the 8-hole. There are no easy outs in this Preppers lineup.
And that's why it's going to be important for Ike Webb to continue to throw well. I thought he threw really well in that first inning. Yep. That only walk he issued, that was one of those intentional walks where he hit a spot on every pitch, and Nelson was just more than happy to take the base. But again, the only thing that really hurt him was that leadoff swing by Bucci on a fastball that caught a lot of the plate, but you're trying to attack the zone early.
Warm-ups finished here. Webb getting set to deal to the right-hander, Jonathan Pleasant. speed burner. They want his speed aboard, and he's choking way up on the bat. And takes a little bit low. He may be missing right now. Scoop, if you just shave half an inch off of those, I think he's going to be able to start spotting those for strikes, but we'll wait and see. You have to be consistent. Is this one a little bit of an inside-out swing, fouled away down the first base line, evens the count out.
Yeah, I like how he's throwing. You know, he's really, to me, he's hitting his spots. Now, at this level, when you get to the regional, a lot of times the strike zone is going to shrink up a little bit. So he missed some pitches, I think, in the first inning where typically he thought that was going to be a strike, but he'll make the adjustment.
Pumps this one up a little too high, 2-1. Well, the outfield for Defiance, especially Daniel Orta in right, playing more towards the gap as this one a high fly ball, turning around but now drawing a beat on it to center field, and Will Horvath will squeeze for out number 1.
Yeah, great job that time by Ike Webb, really kind of hitting the spots, but credit to Will Horvath out there. He was not playing exceptionally deep,
no.
And that ball was struck pretty well, but he did the right thing. He turned and sprinted, had his back to home plate, was able to turn around and haul that in. Big first out for this Defiance defense.
And as you can hear over our crowd mic, I don't know if one of our cameramen can get a shot. The flags, the colors in center field went from limp at first pitch to blowing very strongly in from straightaway center right now. So anything to the air is going to get knocked down pretty quick unless it's absolutely barreled up. 0-1 the count to Jack Childs. This one working him inside.
Well, that's a great pitch. You're up 0-1. You set up there on the river. You don't get it, but there you see. You look at the stars and stripes. And again, there was no wind when this first pitch happened about 12 minutes ago.
There is now, and it's very much a pitcher's park as this one misses upstairs, 2-1.
This is how it typically plays here in Avon. The wind typically blows in from Lake Erie, not too far up the road.
Good firm pitch there from Webb. Strike 2. Childs, the only hitter in the Prepper lineup, batting under 300. 2-2 on the way. This one went downstairs to get it and fouls it out of play.
A nice job that time by Webb to just challenge the junior Jack Childs. He went with the heat across the plate. A little bit tardy swing that time by Childs.
Webb looking for an out pitch here. He'll step off as that wind really gusts up. Final regular season rankings in Division III. The University Preppers, number 3 team in the state. Defiance in the top 20. He's a swing and a miss. He got him. A West Bank okay. 2 down. So I was about to say the Bulldogs, number 14 in the state in Division III. Right now, Ike Webb is pitching like he's found his self.
Tell you what, that was a filthy changeup that time by Webb. Again, kind of hitting the spots right now. 3 punch-outs for Ike Webb here in the first 2 innings.
So here's the 8-hole, Caden Zelenik, the DH, batting .354. Right-hander, short, barrel-chested, tree trunks for legs, very strong frame. And he's right on top of the plate as he takes a first pitch bender for a called first strike. Well, whenever you get a hitter that does what he's doing right here, trying to take away the outer third, can you be confident? Can you be effective to do just that, and that's throw inside? And Webb certainly is.
Yeah, he's established both sides of the plate. We're not seeing that inside strike being called there on the black, so as a pitcher, you just have to adjust, get a little bit of the white.
This one, a chopper through the 5-5 hole, past a diving Allegretti at third, and a 2-out single keeps the line moving for the Preppers.
Well, that wasn't really a bad pitch from Webb.
No.
That one was kind of tommyhawked a little bit that time by Zelenak, but the senior is able to come up with the second hit of the afternoon for the Preppers. And now they've got something going here with 2 outs, and the senior Will Allen, the 9-hitter, hitting .312 on the season at the dish.
Isn't that something? How many high school coaches would love to have a 300-plus hitter in the 9-hole?
That's great coaching. We can have a guy hitting .312, bat number 9.
Now, Coach Weaver is out, and he is pulling the outfield in considerably. The right-hander digs in. First pitch called strike one.
But normally, with 2 outs, run on first, you go to no double, so you back the defense up. But the fact that the lineup turns over, you don't want a flare, a little bleeder to fall in to extend this inning.
I think they're also playing the wind a little bit here, too. So this one fouled straight back off the mask of Colt Ward, but the Defiance catcher appears to be none the worse for wear.
Yeah, you have to play the wind here. It really is howling in pretty much straight in from center field. Problem is, you get a big outfield like this, any ball that gets to the gap is going to be at least 3.
0-2. Ike Webb says, store that thought away. I'm looking for out number 3 here. Deals. Bender. High, lazy fly ball into left center field. Still on the run. There's that wind playing effect, and Will Horvath played it perfectly. Score at F8. And the 2-out single doesn't do any damage for University. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left to board. We are through 1.5 at Forefront Field. No score. University nothing. Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit SuperiorCU.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
Good look from our grandstand camera here at Forefront Field as we welcome you back. Bottom of the second. No runs on 2 hits, no errors for the University Preppers. No runs on no hits, no errors for the Defiance Bulldogs. Division III regional semifinal playoff baseball. We want to thank our sponsors again, going above and beyond their regular season support of DCTV. Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco. Thank you to each and every one of you. Nelson has finished his warm-ups. He took care of business in order. As a matter of fact, he retired the first 2 Bulldog hitters on a total of 4 pitches. Jace Brownlee, the 3-hole, worked the count full, but struck out swinging. So it will be 4, 5, and 6 for Defiance here in the bottom of the second. Mason North, the DH, will lead it off. Drew Allegretti, senior third baseman, on deck, and senior first baseman Braden Weaver in the hole. Well, if there has been a batter who has really stepped up and just taken charge at the plate this season, it will be the leadoff man here for Defiance. Mason North, in 34 at-bats this season, hitting .412. Scoop, he's the only Defiance Bulldog hitting over 400, and he's one of just 2 hitting over 300.
Yeah, he's had a great sophomore season. Was selected second team Western Buckeye League recently, and deservingly so. And again, a guy that has an on-base percentage over 600 on the season. So he's been a great producer and a table setter as well.
Now they need him here as he holds. That pitch gets a little dirty, even though it's all turf here. I'm still going to use that nomenclature. 1 ball. Is it 1-1? The scoreboard says 2-1. This one misses upstairs. Make it 3-1. Well, you're sitting fastball if you're Mason North here, aren't you?
Yeah, you're sitting fastball in your nitro zone only. Anything else, you're just going to let it go by.
And he was taking a couple steps down to first. Thought, you know what, I shouldn't show the home plate umpire up just in case. But it is ball 4, and the Bulldogs have their first base runner of the ball game.
Yeah, that was awfully confident, taking a couple strides before we saw the umpire signal ball or strike, but it works to his advantage. Defiance has their first runner on of the day here in the second inning.
So here's Drew Allegretti. No surprise, he squares to bunt, hitting .259, and wow, Coming in, charging from first base, Will Allen. Jonathan Pleasant was late to get over to the bag, and so bang, bang play. Deacon Nelson makes the tag about a quarter of the way up the first base line. The sacrifice, though, does the job as Norton now standing at second base.
Smart play that time by Deacon Nelson. Knowing that it was going to be a tough play at first with the second baseman a little tardy coming over, so he alertly had some momentum going, was able to snare that with his glove and made the tag. But a great sack bunt that time by Allegretti.
Braden Weaver digs in from the left side and takes a first pitch strike. Weaver hitting .209 on the season. He's got 11 RBI so far this year. A dozen would give Defiance the lead as this one, a little humpback liner, caught by the shortstop. Quick throw back to second, and it bounces off of Pleasant's glove. James Bucci almost made an incredible double play. As it stands, he takes away what would have been a blue pit from Braden Weaver, and there's two down.
Yeah, that time Mason North, I think he saw that baseball down, so he was going right away off the contact, but then realized the speed of Bucci, was able to track that down. Bucci made a fantastic running catch. Kind of threw off his back leg, but fortunately for Defiance, that ball kind of bounced off the glove of Jonathan Pleasant, or else that would have been a double play there to end this inning.
So two down. Here's Grady Christ. And we've got conversations both on the bump. And now Coach Weaver going to call over Mason North to have a chat with him. And sophomore Grady Christ is going to see if he can't come up with a little two-out bingo. Grady hitting a $171 on the season.
And I think Bucci maybe tweaked something, trying to make that spectacular catch and throw kind of all in one motion. So the trainer's coming out to take a look, giving him a little time. Looks like he's going to be all right. That's a good sign.
Unless his leg detaches, there's no way he's coming out of this ball game.
Yeah, I'm sure he said right away, Coach, turn around, I'm fine. I can deal with this.
We'll talk about it later. So a little bit of an extra rest here for Deacon Nelson. A little bit more time to think for Grady Christ. It's a righty-lefty matchup here. They are definitely, and they being specifically Jack Nelson in center, playing Chris to go Oppo. There is a huge gap in right center field as this one way high, and Bobby Berglund quickly out of his crouch, and that saved 90 feet.
It really did. Great play by Berglund. That was a fastball that probably hit 90 mile an hour, and that was up in the attic. Somehow he gloved it.
This one fouled straight back. Boy, he had a good rip at it. Fouls it over the safety netting here behind home plate. We got a lady.
Nice little catch here by Defiance fan.
So 1-1. Nelson comes from the letters. Brings another fastball, but Christ is on him, and he just hasn't been able to get the better part of the barrel of the bat on either of those last two pitches.
Yeah, a couple aggressive swings, just hasn't quite barreled them up yet.
Problem is now you're down in the count 0-2, and Nelson can throw whatever he wants. Comes set, checks the runner at second, brings a bender that misses outside. Boy, you can hear the groans coming from the University faithful from our spot up here in the press box. That certainly looked outside.
Yeah, that was definitely in the river, if not in that left right-handed batter's box. But again, he has not located the off-speed pitch.
2-2, check swing, very slow roller to third, and booted by Kavanaugh. Everybody going to be safe as Nort takes third on the play. Score at E5. And I'm not sure if he just got caught in between hops there. This field plays as true as possible. And Scoop, he was being ultra aggressive, and the ball just skimmed off the webbing of his glove.
Well, I think Mason Nort might have had something to do with it. I think he kind of heard footsteps with Nort kind of running right behind him there. But that is a break for Defiance. That was kind of one of those excuse me check swings.
Yep.
Ends up working out for the Bulldogs.
So here's Daniel Orta digging in with a golden opportunity. Runners at the corners. And no surprise, they're going to go ahead and send Grady Christ as he Cadillacs into second base without a throw. Orta hitting just a $167 on the season with only 2 RBI, but a chance to give Defiance the lead here as he takes upstairs.
Yeah, right now, if you're Daniel Orta, the sophomore, you're just looking for fastball only. You're hitting the fastball. He has not really located the off-speed pitch. He doesn't want to miss downstairs with one, so expect nothing but pure heat during this AB.
Brings a bender there, and it's fouled straight back.
But once again, what with the off-speed pitch, but really not in the zone. That one was upstairs, kind of hung it a little bit, but high enough that unable to square it up.
So 1-2. See what Nelson decides to come with here. Whoa, over his helmet. And Orta gets out of the way just in time.
Yeah, that was a big-time heater there. That had to be in the low 90s. Really up that one up.
Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Orta will ask for time. Yeah, you see that come right over the brim of your helmet, and it kind of makes you think about a few extra things, doesn't it?
It does.
He's trying to clear the mechanism right now as he digs back in, center of the left-handed hitter's box. Runners at second and third. This one's upstairs. Scoop, you said that Nelson hasn't been able to really consistently spot his bender, but right now as he's humping things up, he's missing not just high, but exceptionally high with his fastball.
Yeah, so does that mean he's going to go bender right here? He's thrown 3 fastballs upstairs that have not been competitive at all during this AB.
Payoff pitch from the set. Nelson deals. Whoa, and there's an ugly finder that bounces off the safety fencing in front of the Defiance dugout.
Well, he stayed with the fastball, but he was able to keep it downstairs, and that time Orta extremely late on it, but he did fight it off.
So we'll do it again. Nelson from the letters. Deals, got him swinging at a bender. It's in the dirt. They'll have to throw down to first, and they get him. Well, he went with the bender. Orta swings and misses. They'll score at 2-3 on the putout, and that will be a West Banco strikeout to end the Defiance second. No runs on no hits, 1 error, and 2 left aboard for the Bulldogs, both in scoring position, but they're turned away here in the bottom of the second. We'll head to the top of the third. You're watching the Division III Baseball Regional Semifinals presented by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Discover top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Well, it looks lush and green, but it's that way year-round because they've got turf here at Forefront Field. As we welcome you back, the home of the Lake Erie Crushers is playing host to Division III Regional Semifinal Baseball here this afternoon. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller saying thank you for joining us on DCTV Sports. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error for the University Preppers. No runs on no hits, no errors for the Defiance Bulldogs. Boy, Defiance might look back on the bottom of that second inning, Scoop, where they had runners at second and third and unable to bring anybody home. You don't get very many chances against a pitcher the likes of Deacon Nelson. Right now, though, Ike Webb's job is to keep it where it's at, and he's looked pretty good himself.
He's looked really good through 2 innings. Again, allowed a single in the first, a single in the second, but he does have 3 strikeouts against 1 walk. And that 1 walk was by design, pitching around Deacon Nelson.
Top of the order here in the top of the third, as first pitch swinging James Bucci, who hit an absolute scorcher deep in the hole at short on the very first pitch he saw to open up the game. Hansberger kept it on the infield, but it went as an infield single. Bucci reached third himself, but unable to be brought home. And as a result, we've got ourselves a scoreless deadlock right now as he's looking at an 0-1 pitch. Off speed, that one short hops Colt Ward. Bucci coming into this afternoon's contest hitting .319. Refuses to leave the box. Webb peering in over the webbing of his glove. Deals. A little low. Was that outside possibly too?
I think it was both.
It's a 2-1. You get a good look at the Bulldog right-hander. Ward tries to frame this one up on the inner third. Doesn't get the call, and it's now 3-1.
The first 3-ball count for Ike Webb since the first inning.
3-1 on the way. Brings the heat, strike 2.
Good life on that fastball to get back in the count here.
Payoff pitch. Webb deals. Fouled straight back. I'd love to see the gun on both pitchers. I know we were thinking 90 plus for Deacon Nelson for the Preppers, but I think Ike Webb is working a few extra miles above his normal.
Yeah, like I said in the first inning, I thought he touched 90 on one of those fastballs. It certainly is amped up here.
This one a nubber back to the mound. Webb's on it, and he mails it down the right field line. Bucci rounding first, and is he going to try for 3? There's a hope. This ball is caught in the tarp in the bullpen, and that is a heads-up play by Daniel Orta, as that should only be an extra base instead of 2 for James Bucci.
Very intelligent play by Daniel Orta out there in right field. If he tries to get that dislodged out of the tarp, that's all you can get. Instead, it's 1 base from the throw. The base you're going to plus 1. And so that will put Bucci on second base. But for the second time today, Bucci has started out an inning, find himself on base for the Preppers.
Boy, Ike Webb did everything he wanted in that at bat. Sawed him off, got the number back to the mound, got on top of it quickly, and Scoop, it actually looked like he got his feet underneath him and squared to first base. I think he just had a little extra adrenaline and chucked it down the right field line.
Yeah, you're right. He made a quality pitch once again and just kind of topped it into the turf. And he had time to throw him out. Not a lot of time, but he had time. But you're right. I think he's just too amped up, and that throw to first base was probably 90 plus itself, but it just completely airmailed Braden Weaver. Now we'll see if Jack Nelson, a .359 hitter, is going to try to push a bunt to get Bucci into third, or do they play for the big inning early?
Bucci has excellent speed. He's already in scoring position. Nelson hitting .359 on the season, and he doesn't show bunt here as he takes low for ball 1.
Again, he's a solid hitter. You know, the younger brother of Deacon Nelson, the Auburn commit.
Yep.
So you imagine he probably swings it pretty well.
The 1-0. Oh, great stop out of his crouch by Colt Ward. Absolute beauty to keep it in front of him. It's ball 2.
And great job here by Jack Nelson. You know, you can be very selective. You know, you do not want to put him on where you have to pitch to Deacon Nelson, who's on the on-deck circle right now.
2-0. Webb needs to come with something competitive here, as Bucci, a very good lead at second. And he does just that, strike 1.
Good-looking heater that time from Mike Webb. Was able to locate it on the outer third. Still down to count 2-1.
Nelson, just a junior, but already getting some Division I sniffs. As we mentioned, older brother has already signed with Auburn. This one in the dirt, ball 3. Matter of fact, AJ, I'm trying to remember his last name, but one of the assistants for the Preppers said he's an excellent student. He's actually considering playing ball in the Ivy League.
Well, that's good that done on the athletic field and the
Absolutely.
classroom.
3-1. Webb deals downstairs, ball 4. First 2 aboard for University here in the top of the third. And Colt Ward's going to go out and have a talk with his junior pitcher.
Yeah, good move there by Colt Ward. And right now, if you're Ike Webb, now you have to earn your way out of this one because there's no getting around it. You've got Deacon Nelson hitting .440 on base percentage, .628 on the season. At the plate here with really no place to put him, and still not an out in this third inning.
Again, a ground ball potentially gets you 2 here if you're Ike Webb. And while he has worked his way out of some traffic jams earlier in this ball game, he's in one here with no outs.
And Orta deep in right field. If you hit one over his head, it's probably going to leave the yard.
Nelson, they pitched around him in his first at bat. Now here's a strike. Boy, look at him too. He's salivating in that box. There you get a good look at him. As confident a hitter as you're going to see right now. Swing and a miss. Webb pulls a string. That's a big strike two.
That was filthy. He took a lot off that pitch, had a lot of movement to it. And that time, Deacon Nelson swings through it.
We'll see if Webb's got another one in him. Nelson refuses to leave the box. Webb checks Bucci at second. Comes home. Inside.
And that time he went with the hammer there. Took a lot off that bender.
All right, so
pitch. I was started say, in, but broke down around the ankles.
So he wastes one there. But you want this one to be competitive. You don't want to go 2-2, do you?
No, you don't. You want to hit your spot right here. Nothing across the heart of the plate.
It's on the way. He reached back but misses low, and it's exactly that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
All right, now Deacon saying you fooled me once but not twice, so I'm ready for what you got.
He's yet to leave the box. I mean, he is locked in. This is a crucial moment early in this ball game. Webb hit him off his elbow. Hit batter. So an error, a walk, and now a hit batter has loaded the bases for University with nobody down here in the top of the third.
Well, that was a great at-bat by Deacon Nelson. Even though he was fooled on that off-speed pitch that Webb pulled the string on, he stays in there 2-2, competitive pitch, wears it for the team. And now Coach Rick Weaver is going to want to make a mound visit with his infield.
Now, this isn't just to have a chat with Ike Webb. This is to talk to the defense. Okay, if the ball finds me, where am I going with it? You have a force at any base.
Yeah, you're right. And I would expect that Defiance will come out corners in, middle infield playing for that double play ball. You're playing on turf, so, if you do get that ball to the corners there, you get the force there at home. Then you take a peek to see what else you might have.
They get a good look at Coach Weaver, slowly walking back to the dugout. Corners are in, both Allegretti and Weaver with at least 1 foot on the grass. Brownlee at second, Hansberger at short, both pinching up the middle and deep. They will trade a run for 2 here as Webb misses inside. Bobby Berglund, power hitting catcher, digging in from the right side. Berglund also getting some D1 college sniffs. As this one popped up a mile high. This should be an infield fly rule. Drifting into foul territory. Long way to run, battling that wind, and Allegretti can't field it.
Well, I saw this last week calling MAC baseball games here at Forefront. Nothing easy on a fly ball, and that ball played tricks that time on Allegretti, who's typically just money down there at third base. That was kind of what the doctor had ordered for Defiance. Unfortunately, once it gets above the top of the stadium here at Forefront Field, the wind plays havoc. You saw Allegretti kind of put the jets on to try to get in position, ends up whipping on it. Big break there for the Preppers. We'll see if they can cash in.
He had to go back, he had to go over, and then he ended up coming in on nearly a full sprint. As a good-looking bender paints the black on the inside by Ike Webb. He could be his own best advocate with a strikeout here.
Yeah, he sure could. And it also kind of fooled the umpire, who Allegretti had to kind of deal with as well. So ball will play havoc on you, especially once it gets above the grandstand.
1-2. Webb needs a quality pitch. Brings another bender just off the mark.
That's a great pitch that time by Webb. Ooh. That's right where he wanted that pitch to be. But again, there's nothing to be had on the black today. You're going to have to come across the white. Boy, that's a tough pitch to take, but now the count even at 2-2.
Berglund sets this one. Chopper up the middle. It's going to be a long run for Brownlee. He flips to first. They will get the sure out, but it scores the first run of the ball game as Bucci crosses home plate to make it 1-0 Preppers.
A good situational hitting that time by the junior Bobby Berglund. Not much you're going to do with that pitch. He was able to put it in play. By the time Brownlee came up with it, the only play he had was at first. And now the infield will have to come in here with second, third, and just one out.
Boy, this is really tough now. Miles Wolf already an excellent hitter at .318. But with the infield drawn in, tack about another 30 points onto his average.
Yeah, I think you're forced to do if you're Defiance. You have to keep this a 1-0 game, try to minimize things.
Wolf 0 for 1, struck out looking to end the first as he fouls this pitch away. Nelson at third, Nelson at second. Nope, you're not seeing things. They're brothers. They get a look at the right-handed hitting Wolf digging in. Webb in a jam. He's already surrendered 1 run. This one, a little lazy fly ball into center field. On the run, Horvath, and it is not nearly deep enough to try and risk the tag. And that's a big second out for Defiance.
It really was, and credit to Horvath that time. You know, he squeezed him with the wind blowing in, made a nice running catch, but then instead of risking a throw, he watched the runner realize he's not going anywhere, is able to lob it into the cutoff man. A huge second out for Ike Webb and the Bulldogs. But right now, still not out of the woods here, trying to minimize things here in the top of the third.
Here's Pleasant digging in, 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. That just an inning ago. So the line has been moving as the university student body singing happy birthday to Jonathan Pleasant. Or maybe they're just trying to be a distraction. Oh and 1 the count. Oh, beauty on the inside corner. And maybe for the first time this afternoon, Webb getting the call on the inner third. Strike 2.
Great pitch once again.
Oh,
just
man.
kind of painted that inside edge with a nice looking 12-6 curveball.
Pleasant really choking up on the bat. Stiff back elbow. On the way, this one, a ground ball to short. Gobbled up by Hansberger, and oh my goodness, overthrows Weaver. 1 run is scored, a second run will score. They've got Pleasant caught in a rundown, but that's not going to come in time to stop 3 runs from crossing home plate for University. Second error of the ball game, and it is a costly one for the Bulldogs. So 3 runs on no hits, 2 errors, and nobody left aboard. Not a single run earned. It doesn't matter. They count just the same. At the end of 2.5, University 3, Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Stanball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stanball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
We head to the bottom of the third. A big crooked number for the number 3 team in the state in Division 3. University didn't pick up a single hit, but 2 crucial errors allowed all 3 Prepper runs to score. And not as if he needs a whole lot on the bump, but Deacon Nelson can take the bump here in the bottom of this frame with a little extra confidence as he's got some cushion to work with. It will be the 9 then leadoff hitter, Will Horvath, Colt Ward, and Jaron Hansberger. set to take their cuts against Deacon Nelson, the senior right-hander for University.
Yeah, it can be a crazy game at time. University in that first and second inning, they had a hit in each of those innings. Was able to get a walk with it in the second. They come up empty, and then without getting a hit, scored 3 times there in the third. So 3 unearned runs there for the Preppers, but they're not worried about that. Right now they're trying to get that shutdown inning after their offense put a crooked number on the board in the top half of the frame.
Now Defiance threatened to frame a go, putting 2 aboard via a walk and an error, but left them both stranded in scoring position at second and third. Will Horvath, again, good speed, will dig in, see if he can't get something going for the Bulldogs. Horvath on the season, hitting just below 300 at 290. First trip to the plate. First pitch swinging. He wasn't guessing, but he was a little late. And again, if we were to see a gun right now on Deacon Nelson's scoop, I would guess. We were told that he normally operates around 85, 86. He certainly looks like he's in the upper 80s right now.
Yeah, he's really got some gas behind it. And there's that off-speed bender that, again, well out of the zone. Evens the count up at 1-1, but boy, he's amping it up. I think all these guys are a little bit extra fired up today, playing here the regional at Forefront Field.
This one fouled straight back, and Horvath down on the count, now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We've seen not only a lot of pitches upstairs today that were heaters, but also a lot of throws across the infield upstairs as well. Result 3 errors here early, combined by both teams.
1-2, and Horvath a little late here, but he's got enough of it to buy himself another swing. Just in front of the 3 o'clock hour. We are not quite a full hour into this afternoon's contest, the first of 2 here at Forefront Field. Division III semifinals, off speed, check swing, and that was, hey, look what found my barrel, as that one's fouled up the first base line.
Yeah, that's a ball you don't want to put between the lines. You want that ball just to go foul there. He fights off a tough 1-2 pitch, and now he lives for another.
Well, again, 1-2. Nelson pretty much can throw whatever he wants. We'll wait and see. Brings some heat here and misses high. Second half of this afternoon's twin bill. The winner of today's game will get the winner of tonight's game, as it is Padua Franciscan and Southview, just out of the Toledo area. This one fouled out of the mitt of Bobby Berglund. I'm not so sure that wasn't in his mitt, and Horvath just somehow got a piece of it.
Yeah, that had a lot of the mitt, but somehow was able to find its way out of it. So once again, new life here for Horvath, the senior. Trying to pull the Bee Gees here and staying alive.
Oh, jeez. Woo. Here we go, dropping a beat. Deacon Nelson brings about a 58-footer.
Yeah, he just does not look comfortable with that curveball.
No.
He throws it just enough to keep you thinking. Once again, you would have to think he's going with pure heat right here.
Well, he threw it in a 3-2 count against Orta to end the last frame, as this one's a routine grounder to Pleasant at second. Boy, he stayed back on it, and the hustling Horvath with some good speed out of the left-handed box made that close, but they retire him for the first out here in the Defiance third.
Well, that time Horvath got the fastball, but just couldn't quite barrel it up. Ends up being a 4-3 put-up that turns the lineup over to the first team All-WBLer, Colt Ward.
Colt Ward, just a sophomore. How much better is this young man going to get over the next 2 seasons?
He's got a great swing.
Yep. Hitting .329 coming into today's ball game. He flew out to center to lead off the Defiance first as he takes in the dirt here. Very good-natured young man. Whenever I go in to watch BP before games, he's usually pretty loose. Whoa, a little chin music as he leans back here.
I think I saw him put his helmet in the helmet rack where another southpaw hitter, Garrett Pike, who plays for the Crushers here, also played at Anthony Wayne, Toledo, and Louisville. Not a bad guy to try to emulate.
No, not at all. 3 balls and no strikes to Colt Ward. Defiance had a golden opportunity last inning. Left runners at second and third as this one tight. Ooh, and a strike at the letters in the inside corner.
That's a pitch you don't expect to be called.
No.
3-0 in the count on the edge there at the letters, but he gets the call.
3-1. This one into center field, and Nelson just didn't get a beat on it. He kept coming in and decided discretion is the better part of valor, and Colt Ward with the first hit of the afternoon for the Bulldogs. A 1-out single here in the third.
Well, another great AB by the sophomore Colt Ward, but I thought that was a very smart play by Jack Nelson, center field. And that's one of those balls, if you get caught in between, it goes by you. You know, the fact you're playing a little bit in the wind, the big open field there, that could turn into 3 or more. So he does make the right move there, but it does put a Defiance runner on base here with 1 out.
Hansberger takes first pitch downstairs. He's 0 for 1. Put the barrel of the bat on the ball in the first inning. It was tailing away down the right field line, and Miles Wolf had him played perfectly. This one. I'm watching Nelson's reaction. He was holding. That inside corner just isn't being given, at least not consistently so far here this afternoon.
And that's why it's a great hold by Hansberger. Now he's up in the count 2-0.
Takes a strike here. Well, if you can make Nelson strictly a fastball thrower, and that's saying something because, again, it looks like it's coming in upper 80s today with some good movement, but at least you don't have to go up guessing if you're Defiance. The 2-1. Off the out of third, ball 3, and now you hear some moaning and groaning coming from the University faithful.
This is the 5th 3-ball count that Deacon Nelson's got himself into here. We're just 1 out in the third inning.
Ward with a modest lead at first. Allen will hold him. Swing and a miss there. Boy, he went after it, and guess if you're going to go ahead and throw that pitch in that count, you better have some confidence in it, and right over the top of it, Hansberger strike 2.
Yeah, that time Hansberger probably been better served to kind of spit on that, let it go.
Even if it was a strike. We'll see what Nelson decides to deal here with the count full. It's in the dirt, ball 4. So a single and a walk puts runners at first and second for the 3-hole, Jace Brownlee.
A good AB that time by Hansberger, works himself on base. Now that'll bring the tying run to the plate. And the sophomore, Jace Brownlee.
0 for 1 this afternoon, struck out swinging to end the first. Brownlee hitting .206 on the season. And let's see if we can't get you some situationals. With runners in scoring position. How about this? He's come through, Scoop. 6 out of 19 for .316. He squares the bunt here and fouls it straight back, and that looked like it was about to catch the corners on their heels. But now you just played your hand, and now you're down a strike.
Yeah, so you wonder if he might be swinging away here. That time looked like third baseman Kieran Cavanaugh was staying deep.
He's coming in now. Cavanaugh staying back as this one misses outside. Well, Nelson laboring just a bit here in the bottom of the third. From the letters. Upstairs. All right, break him down. Is this a mechanical issue? Is it a release point issue? Takes a deep breath trying to slow the game down here.
Yeah, I think he's overthrown. He needs to take a longer stride with that stride leg right now.
This one paints the black. Brownlee takes strike 2. I don't know what you do with that pitch if it's Jace Brownlee other than pound it into the ground.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch, but now with 2 strikes, you're going to have to expand the zone, protect here a little bit.
Nelson comes set, deals. This one inside outed into shallow right field, but it will hold up for Wolf. And a nice job by Ward to tag, and he slides safely into third. So Brownlee advances the runner, They're now at the corners, but with 2 down for Mason North.
Smart play that time by the sophomore, Colt Ward. That's why it's so important when you're a base runner. You have to know where the outfield is. That way off the bat, you know if you're tagging, if you're going that time. Ward knew he was tagging. He was able to take third. And now that might give a little bit better pitch to Mason North. You don't want to spike 159 feet here with the potential run at third base.
Now we mentioned North, the only Defiance hitter, batting over 400. Entered today at 412. He does not have an official at bat as he walked. First pitch swinging. Diving stop by Kavanaugh third. Long throw. It takes Allen off the bag, but right in front of Mason North as he makes the tag for the third and final out. It saved a run, and it brings the Prepper faithful to their feet. Kavanaugh with a tremendous job to keep it on the infield, and Allen with an even better job to keep the runner in front of him. Score at 5-3 on the putout, and for the second straight inning, Defiance leaves a pair aboard. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 stranded. We're through 3. You're watching the Division III Baseball Regional Semifinals presented by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco on DCTV Sports.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Well, there you get a good look at the Prepper student body. They have been active and very much engaged in this ball game. As we head to the top of the 4th here at Forefront Field, Division III. Regional Baseball semifinal playoff action. Brent Balbanon alongside Scoop Miller. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error for the Preppers. No runs on 1 hit, 2 costly errors for the Bulldogs. As the Preppers, doesn't matter how you score. They are unearned, but they count just the same up on the scoreboard. And Ike Webb finishing his warm-ups here as he will deal to the bottom of the order for University. 7, 8, and 9, Childs, Zelenek, and Allen.
Yeah, right now, if you're University, just go out, try to win an inning, extend the lead. You got a great start, but you got a Defiance team that's certainly more than capable of coming 3 runs down.
First pitch, Childs pounds this one down into the dessert. I didn't have breakfast, nor have I had lunch. Into the dirt.
And I'm buying tonight, too. That's not good math for me.
Well, I did notice your eyes widen when you saw Culver's just off the interstate when we were driving up.
Yeah, that might be the first of a couple stops on the way home.
You have not had Swenson's. That is an Eastern Ohio specialty, as this one fouled away. We could stop at both. They're right across the parking lot from each other. You could do a little comparison dining.
Could do that.
Yeah, why not? People don't know this, but Scoop Miller is ambidextrous when it comes to burgers. Left, right hand, does not matter. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Childs. This one a little popper just short of second base coming in. Barehanding Hansberger, and he cannot make the throw in time. Childs legs out and infield single.
Wow, what a great play that time by Hansberger in real time. I thought they actually had him there. That was awfully close. But credit Hansberger, tremendous play, but a good hustle play by Jack Childs. That ball looked like it was going to be trouble off the get-go. Not hit hard, but kind of no man's land. We've seen the spin, what spin can do on the turf. Credit Hansberger, I thought he sold out barehanded and made a quick throw, but just not in time.
Well, that had a ton of spin on it. Off the bat, I thought it was going to hang up in the air longer and be playable, but it just bit and bit, dropped down, and nothing anybody on the infield could do. And the Preppers keep the pressure on as Zelenek The DH digging in from the right side. He's 1 for 1 with a single. And time being asked for. Now there is action in the University bullpen. And if you are the coaching staff for the Preppers, you may be thinking 3 runs is going to be enough. You get 3, maybe 1 more out of Nelson, and then go to the pen to try and stretch things out over the remainder of this week. And there we get a good look at, is that number 1? I believe it is. And that would be, hold on here, I'll bring up my handy dandy roster. As this one pops the mitt, nothing doing according to the home plate umpire. 1-0 the case to Zelenik.
That's Kavanaugh. And remember, the fact that Deacon's only thrown 12 innings all year, they're not expecting a complete game out of him. They're just
Here's
trying to
another
get
number up the first base line, and a heads-up play by Weaver not to wait. It just kicks the cushion. Yep, Kieran Kavanaugh is the Prepper pitcher. Right now, all he's doing is taking long toss. He hasn't begun to throw at all.
And talking to the university coaches, both head coach Robert McGurney in his 6th season and his assistants, I think they were really hoping to get 3 or 4. And obviously they'll ride them as long as they can.
Sure.
3 or 4, I think, was more realistic before turning it over to the back end of the bullpen.
Well, up 3-0, you've got some cushion to work with. Webb does not have that same luxury, as he will deal to the 9-hole Will Allen. Bender, ground ball, bobbled a bit by Allegretti, and he'll make the only play. I was going to say for a second he was looking the runner back to second, but smart job, and again, showing some composure there not to rush it across the diamond. There's 2 down.
Excellent job that time by Allegretti. He knew he had a runner on second. Did a great job taking away that hole. Didn't get it clean in his glove, but was able to corral it. Made a strong throw across the infield. Big second out for this Defiance defense.
4th inning, 3rd trip to the plate for James Bucci. Defiance is going to see this young man in their nightmares. He's reached on an infield single, he's reached on an error, and he scored the first of 3 unearned runs just a frame ago as he takes a first pitch ball.
He's also got great wheels, so keep him off the base pass.
1-0. Webb checking the runner at second. Comes home. Misses in the cellar. Well, Defiance got here, opening up the sectionals with an 11-1 win over Shawnee. They won 8-3 in the district semifinals at Tiffin at Paradiso Park over Ashland. This one's fouled straight back, make it 2-1. And then Bowling Green pulled off the upset over the higher-seeded Maumee Panthers, and Defiance dispatched them 8-4 in the district finals.
Yeah, Maumee was the #1 seed in that district tournament, but credit Bowling Green, a team that really had a lot of ups and downs, mainly downs this season, pulled a big upset that really opened the door for a lot of teams.
Pitch framed up as Webb hits the inside corner. It's now 2-2. Looking to get himself out of the inning, he'll step off. Now, speaking of strolls in the park through the early rounds of the playoffs for University, they blanked Akron North 20-0 to open up play. Then 6 days later, 10-0. This one fouled straight back. We'll do it again against Madison. And then they got a push. 5-4 winners versus Canfield to reach today's sectional semifinal. Pardon me, regional semifinals. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Can Webb come up with an out pitch? Bucci has been a thorn in his side so far this afternoon. Brought the bender, and it's fouled away. 2-2, we'll do it again. Webb has really slowed the pace of this game down. From the belt, rocks and fires, and Pucci just a pest at the plate right now. We do want to remind you, we will have more regional semifinal baseball, Division 5 style, this Wednesday at Elida, as Fairview and Liberty Benton. So this one just kind of punched opposite way and into right field. They're going to go ahead and wave Childs around third. The throw up the line, and there's run number 4 for the Preppers. Bucci fouled away 2 strikes 3 times, Scoop, and he didn't do anything special with that pitch. He just punched it oppo.
What a great at-bat by the senior, James Bucci, that time. And as you mentioned, he spoiled 3 really good pitches from Webb, and then just threw his bat at the ball, went to the other way. Didn't do anything special at all, but again, that's just an impressive piece of hitting. And Credit University, they found a way to extend this lead, now up 4-0. But we'll have a pinch runner there at first base.
And let's see who's coming in. It is number 4. That is going to be Noah Sigloski. I believe I've got it correct. And Noah, if I'm not, we'll just apologize to you in advance. So here's Jack Nelson digging in. First pitch swinging here, boy. He crushes that one deep down the left field line, but it is hooking foul. Into that wind nonetheless. My goodness.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely crushed.
Appropriate here at the home of the Crushers, right? Ground ball to second. Brownlee stays low on it, flips to first, but it comes one batter too late for Defiance's tastes. The Preppers tack on 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. 3.5 in the books. University 4, Defiance nothing. You are watching Division 3 postseason baseball regional semifinal action presented by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco here on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
So we welcome you back to Forefront Field. Bottom of the 4th. We're working our way through this ball game, but you just get the feeling that Defiance, I don't want to call this a do-or-die inning, but they need something. Trailing 4-0 to the number 3 team in Division 3. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. We're talking with producer Josh Bush here. A contrast between the 2 pitchers. Ike Webb, and through no fault of his own, 2 crucial errors really blew things open in that 3rd inning when they scored 3 unearned, but he has thrown 81 pitches, 49 of which have been strikes, through 3. Conversely, Deacon Nelson just 56 pitches, and that's even with Defiance putting a couple of runners aboard in each of the last 2 innings.
Yeah, it's also with just 30 strikes, so he's hasn't been the most consistent out there, but when Defiance has swung the bat, they put in play, and unfortunately for the Bulldogs, they've only got that Colt Ward single to start things out there with 1 out in the 3rd.
Well, Kieran Cavanaugh made a fantastic diving stop on a laser off the bat of Mason Nort last frame, and then, of course, another great play by Allen as the throw took him off the bag, but he stayed in front of Nort to tag him out, or it would be a 4-1 ball game. But here's my question for you. Regardless of what happens this inning, unless it's just incredibly quick, do you go to the pen and say, nice job, Deacon Nelson, if you are University at the end of this one?
Well, I don't expect to see him the next inning, but if he gets a quick inning here and they still are riding a 4-0 advantage, why burn up somebody else when you got to turn around and play here tomorrow night? So right now tomorrow night they'll have everybody really full strength other than Deacon Nelson right here. And Nelson, as we said, only 12 innings coming into today, so not a guy they've really relied on the bump. They relied on his bat and his glove at shortstop on this season, so they'll probably ride him as long as they can. But again, when I talked to the coaches ahead of time, they were hoping to get 3 or 4. Anything after that would be gravy.
Allegretti takes downstairs. It's 2 balls and a strike to the Bulldog leadoff man. He's 0 for 1. He laid down a sacrifice a couple of innings ago. Defiance left 2 stranded in that frame, second and third, as this one catches the top of the zone. 2-2.
Yeah, that's a big pitch right there. Instead of falling behind 3-1, now he's evened up at 2-2. That's another 3-ball count.
Yep.
This is the 6th 3-ball count here. And we're at our first batter in the 4th inning.
Well, we'll see what Allegretti gets to work with here with a full count. This one, ground ball deep in the hole at short, backhanded by Bucci, long throw, and it takes Allen off the bag. Normally you would think that's going to be an infield single anyway, but man, what a cannon from deep in the hole at short by Bucci, and they almost got him. That's still going to go down as an infield single, I would think.
Yeah, I think that will go down as an infield single, but Brent, you're right. If that throw actually would have been on the mark, I think they were able to throw out Allegretti on that, which speaks volume, because that ball, once it cleared to third baseman, you're thinking that's a base hit all the way.
So here's Weaver digging in. Weaver hit a humpback liner, which was snared by Bucci. Deep in the hole at short, back in the second. He almost doubled off. That would have been Nort at second at the time, as he takes a strike here, and it's 0-2.
Well, I thought that was the big play of the game. Certainly at that juncture, it looked like that might have a chance to be an RBI single. Instead, they nearly doubled up the Bulldogs.
0-2 on the way. Chop foul. You just sit here, and if you're Defiance, you're thinking woulda, coulda, shoulda. That play. Obviously, the diving stop by Kavanaugh at third. This could be a 4-2 ball game. Instead, Defiance is yet to break the scoreboard.
Yeah, you're right. And again, University, just that one earned run that they really earned, I thought, needing to go off of Webb.
Runner goes, pitch outside, throw down to second is not in time. Drew Allegretti picking him up and laying him down. Stolen base. And here we go again. A runner in scoring position with nobody out and a 1-2 count to the Defiance first baseman.
I love that call, running when you're 4 runs down, being aggressive.
Popped up on the infield, foul territory. Kavanaugh playing the wind and hauls it in for the first out. Now, with each passing inning, this Prepper team just looks more and more confident.
Well, that's why I think Rick Weaver's doing the right thing, just trying to swipe a base, find a way to get a run. It's going to be tough to put up any kind of numbers against this pitching and defense that we've seen from University. But right now, maybe get a run here, jumpstart something. I'd much rather be behind 3 than 4 heading into the 5th inning.
Oh, jeez. So here's Grady Christ. 0 for 1, reached on an error, stole second back in the second, and that's where he was stranded as he takes a strike here. Well, I know he's in scoring position, but how aggressive do you get with Drew Allegretti here?
Yeah, you're not going to try to swipe third. I think Berglund just too good a catcher.
I was going to ask if you put something on, but this one's popped up. It's going to be a moot point as shortstop gives way to left fielder, and Jack Child says, I got the better angle, and Pucci high-fives him as he heads back to left field.
Well, you see a lot left fielder call off the shortstop. You usually don't see it when the left fielder ends up on the dirt part of the turf when he makes that catch, but that's how hard the wind's blowing. That's how shallow a lot of these outfielders are playing.
We're going to have a pinch hitter for Daniel Orta. This is going to be Diego Tavares. Here in the bottom of the fourth with 2 down and a runner aboard. Let's give you the information on young Diego here. He's hitting .268 on the season. 41 at bats, 11 hits. He's looking at a 1-1 count. Nelson looking for another clean inning. This one kind of tomahawked to short, gobbled up by Bucci. Boy, he is smooth across the diamond, and that will do it for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, another runner left in scoring position. 4 in the books. Preppers in control, 4-0. You are watching the Division III Baseball Regional Semifinals presented by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estel Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Mike Webb finishing the last of his warm-ups here in the top of the fifth. He will deal to the meat of the University order. 3, 4, and 5, Nelson, Berglund, and Wolf. Preppers scored 3 unearned in the fourth. 3 unearned in the third. In the fourth, they manufactured a run. And it all adds up to 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. No runs on 2 hits, 2 errors. 5th inning, 3rd trip to the plate. And seemingly Mr. Everything for the Preppers right now. Deacon Nelson will lead it off. He has walked, and he has worn 1. He's also got a run scored as he takes a first pitch strike.
Well, I was able to watch Deacon Nelson batting practice under the stadium in the tunnels, and boy, he's got tremendous bat speed, tremendous hand-eye coordination, just a great athlete.
Webb bounces this one, and now we've got a Prepper third base coach. He was a little tardy getting down there. So good thing that Nelson didn't hit one in the gap and needed somebody to wave him to third. He's a little early here. Tell you what, Webb has done a good job of playing with speed or velo to Deacon Nelson. The problem is he hasn't been able to put him away this afternoon. Ahead in the count again. 1-2. High fly ball, shallow left field. Ranging in, waiting for it, and putting the leather to it. Grady Christ makes for out number 1.
Yeah, nice job by Ike Webb. Never easy to retire a guy like Deacon Nelson, but again, he was able to get him in a hole once again at 1-2. Makes a quality pitch. Can of corn there for Grady Christ in left field.
So here's Bobby Berglund. 0 for 2. He has grounded out to short. He has grounded out to second. He does have an RBI to his credit. Boy, Webb reaches back and, well, I did not watch our monitor. I was watching from our booth. We're just slightly offset at an angle to the third base side, but I'm not sure where that one missed. This one gets a little low. This one chopper up the middle. Neatly gloved by Hansberger. Nice stretch by Weaver, and there's 2 away.
Right now, an opportunity for Ike Webb to retire the preppers in order, something that Defiance has been unable to do.
He's going to have to get Miles Wolf. Wolf 0 for 2 this afternoon, struck out looking to end the first, flew out to center back in the third. This one sharply hit, but right at short. Hansberger gobbles it up, and for the first time this afternoon, Ike Webb retires the preppers in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Defiance needs to find their offense. They trail 4-0. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Westbanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused Westbanco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Stanball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stanball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
Back at Forefront Field, we head to the bottom of the fifth. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for the University Preppers. No runs on 2 hits, 2 errors for the Defiance Bulldogs. And there you take a look at a new pitcher. Kieran Kavanaugh is now in on the bump to spell Deacon Nelson. Nelson was, I don't know what else you could ask of him, Scoop. He did pretty much everything and then some. Now we're looking if we can get a shot at third base, Josh. See who the replacement for, is it just a straight switch? Is that number 7? At third, nope, that's number 3. So that is.
Yeah, the shortstop, Bucci, will go to third, and then, of course, Deacon Nelson
goes to short. Okay.
He's the normal shortstop for University. The fact that their number 1 arm is out for today, they put him on the bump, and he filled in like a champ, as you kind of expected.
Yep.
He was able to give them 4 quality innings. And right now, you see Kavanaugh enter the game with a 4-0 advantage.
I don't want to say playing with house money, but that really kind of is how it feels, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And again, we knew that Deacon Nelson would not go the distance. In fact, he's only thrown 12 innings all year. But again, talking to the coaches ahead of time, they were hoping to get 3 or 4. Ride him as long as they could. They were able to get 4 solid innings. And now he'll turn it over to Kavanaugh.
Nelson finishes the day. He goes 4 innings, allows just 2 hits on 72 pitches. He walked 2 while striking out 2. That's a pretty solid afternoon.
It really is, especially when that's not your primary position. But again, he's that guy. He's a competitor. He's a guy that is strong, athletic, wants to win, and boy, he competed out there like a champ this afternoon.
So Kavanaugh finishing his warm-ups. As we mentioned, Bucci moves from short to third, and Nelson goes to the position that he projects at, especially for the Auburn Tigers, at shortstop. 25-5, the Preppers entered this afternoon's contest, ranked number 3 in the state in the last regular season poll in Division 7. Defiance came into today 17-9 overall, ranked number 14. Just a little bit more for the Preppers. We'll wait and see. This game far from over. 3 at-bats left to go for the Bulldogs, but they really need something. And sometimes I've heard coaches just say, sometimes you just need to see a different guy. Well, Defiance is seeing that. The 9-hole Will Horvath digs in and takes a strike. This one fairly well struck into left center field, but it will hang up there, and Nelson puts the leather to it for the first out.
Yeah, great job that time coming in by Kavanaugh, just kind of attacking the zone, pitching with the lead. Always huge, retired the leadoff batter.
Leadoff man Colt Ward will dig in from the left side. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out to center. Stranded at third, back in the third on a tremendous diving play by Kavanaugh to keep the ball on the infield. When Mason Nort, first pitch fastball hunting, sent an absolute rocket down the line. He not only kept it on the infield, but then Will Allen kept the throw that took him off the bag in front of him to tag Nort out just when Defiance thought they might be able to break the scoreboard.
Yeah, Credit University, they've had a solid game in all three phases of it. Pitching's been outstanding. Defense has been great.
This one well struck into the left center field gap, and it will get down. Second hit of the afternoon for the Bulldog catcher. He's 2 for 3 as he puts his hands together, trying to inspire the rest of his teammates.
Again, just a textbook swing by Colt Ward. He's able to lace that ball into the gap in right center. Defiance now has something cooking with 1 out, and the senior Jaron Hansberger at the dish. Over 1 with a walk back in the 3rd inning.
Hansberger digs in from the right side. Ward modest lead at first. Allen will hold him. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Hansberger hitting .253 through the district finals. Takes upstairs here. That wind continues to howl straight in from center field. Maybe a little bit from left to right. It was a non-factor during warm-ups and first pitch, and then all of a sudden it seemingly came out of nowhere. This one high and outside, 2-1. Well, we only have offensive stats for the Preppers. The only pitching stats we had were for starter Deacon Nelson, so we wish we could tell you something about Kavanaugh. But as this one popped up on the infield, charging in is Pleasant, coming across the diamond, and he squeezes for 2 outs. I was about to say, Scoop, with the 25-5 record, my guess is all the stats, not just offensive, but pitching, are pretty superlative for University.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I think they'd have a true number 1 in Crew Bellin, a guy pitching that state championship a year ago. But I think they have a 2A, 2B, 2C, and they've got some depth behind it.
Chase Brownlee, first pitch swinging, sends a humpback liner into shallow center field. Ward rounding second. There will be a play at the bag, and it's not in time. That's just great aggressive base running by the sophomore catcher.
It really is. He's running hard all the way with 2 outs there and able to go first to third. I think that's huge. You're now Defiance. See if they want to be aggressive with Brownlee, who's got good wheels at first base. If they could potentially swipe second, they can scratch across a couple runs with a big 2-out hit here.
Well, Nort 0 for 1. He walked in the second, was left stranded at third, and then hit an absolute frozen rope down the third base line in the third that Kavanaugh made a great diving stop on and retired him to end that inning as he takes downstairs here for ball 1. Nort refuses to leave the box, takes upstairs. Mason, as we mentioned, hitting .412, the only Bulldog hitting over 400 entering today's game. 7 RBI. Number 8 stands just 90 feet away, and it would give the Bulldogs their first run of the game. 2-0. Kavanaugh sets, deals inside. Strike on the inner third.
That's a tough pitch. That's a pitch you're not going after unless it's 2 strikes. But tip your cap to Kavanaugh. He somehow caught the edge of the zone there at the top of the zone. Big first pitch or strike to make it 2-1.
2-1. Bender inside, that hit him. So Nort wears one. Trots down to first base. Second time today. Look at this. Bases juiced. 2 outs. There will be a visit to the mound. Drew Allegretti, the senior, 1 for 1 with a sacrifice and an infield single. has a chance to turn this into a brand new ball game.
You love it right now. You got a senior up who represents the tying run. But again, right now, you've got to push something across. You've left 5 runners stranded in the last 3 innings, and now you've got them juiced here in the 5th. And a chance to maybe cut this lead in half with a base knock here with 2 outs.
Allegretti entered today's contest hitting .259 with 7 RBI. He's got 2 standing in scoring position in a 4-0 ball game. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. A base hit makes this very interesting. Allegretti with runners in scoring position, hitting .313 on the season. Wow, and the inside corner, again a strike. And Allegretti looks back with confusion on his face.
That's a tough pitch. And again, one you're going to take on, 0-0 early in the count. You're just going to wave at that one. Big first pitch strike, though, for Kavanaugh.
This one, short hops the catcher. It goes to the backstop. Wild pitch. Everybody advances station to station. Colt Ward comes home with the first run of the game for the Bulldogs to make it 4-1.
Yeah, that's a gift run there. A couple freebies. The hit batsman to Nort, and now the wild pitch. And what that does, it moves 2 Bulldogs into scoring position. So a base knock here could make this a 1-run game.
1-1 the count. Brownlee at third. Nort at second. Allegretti digging in. Kavanaugh from the belt. Deals. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at Coach Rick Weaver in the third base box, and he's just shaking his head. 1-2. He also knows better than to argue balls and strikes. Allegretti will have to be protecting here. Kavanaugh deals in the dirt, and that's another good stop by Berglund.
Yeah, it really was. That ball was down in the cellar, was scooting away. He had to get out of his crouch that time, but did a great job keeping it in front. Now the count even here as we got 2s wild here in the bottom of the 5th.
Big pitch coming up. Kavanaugh trying to keep the damage to a minimum. Allegretti asks for time, and he's granted it. Allegretti as deep in the box as you can possibly get. Back foot on that chalk line. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 aboard. Runners at second, third, and we'll have time again. And now it becomes a game of cat and mouse. Home plate umpire smiling, acting like he's brushing off home plate with Drew Allegretti. Of course, everything painted on this artificial turf. So here we go. High leverage situation here, bottom of the 5th. Kavanaugh leans back from the belt. Deals above the helmet, ball 3. Well, Braden Weaver stands in the on-deck circle. If Allegretti could reach, all of a sudden the go-ahead run would come to the plate. Big pitch coming up. Kavanaugh really taking his time, and I'm waiting to see Allegretti staying locked in. On the way, bottom fell out. He swung over the top of it. Strike 3.
Huge West Banco strikeout by Kavanaugh to end the Defiance threat.
1 run on 2 hits. No errors, and the Bulldogs leave them loaded. They get something. We will head to the top of the 6th. Preppers 4, Bulldogs 1. You're watching DCTV Sports and Division III Baseball Regional Semifinal action presented by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco on DCTV Sports.
proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Top of the 6th. University, 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. Defiance, 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors. Ike Webb stays in the game, but his teammates did manage to put a tally on the board in the bottom of the last frame. We'll wait and see if that gives him a little extra energy. He'll deal to 6, 7, and 8. Pleasant, Childs, and Zelenik. Well, Defiance has had their opportunities today, Scoop.
Well, they have. They've left 7 runners on base just in the last 4 innings.
Right now, nothing that Ike Webb can do about that. His job to keep it where it's at. Deals, first pitch heater, dropping to a knee. Pleasant fouls it away.
Yeah, right now, if you're Ike Webb, this is where you have to make a little hay here in this 6th inning, looking at 6, 7, 8 hitters, because you know it's going to be awfully tough once that lineup turns over.
Popped up down the right field line and out of play. Oh and 2. Bender, gets him to lean back. One, 2. Webb reaches back, brings a little something extra. It's downstairs in the zone. 2 and 2. Bender here, boy, I thought he might come at him just with some straight heat. Instead, he tried to get him to bite, and now all of a sudden the count full.
This will be pitch number 95 coming up.
Chopper down to third, sets up nicely on a second hop. And across the diamond, Allegretti retires the leadoff man here in the Prepper 6th.
Yeah, big first out that time for Ike Webb and the Bulldogs, trying to keep this game where it's at, trying to get that shutdown inning after the Bulldogs pushed one across in the bottom of the 5th. Now Jack Childs, the junior, 1 for 2 with that leadoff single in the 4th. He came around to score a strikeout victim in the 2nd. Steps to the plate.
First pitch strike.
Looks like that fastball for Webb has kind of settled in at, 84, 85, what you kind of expect.
Right there, you can see him hump it up. I don't think there's any question he could probably touch 90, but the question is, do you lose your ability to spot it at that point?
Yeah, the location really, to me, trumps everything. You have to be able to hit those spots.
Again, I'm going to go back a ways, and if anybody that is under 40 years of age might not remember some of these names, but I'm thinking of major leaguers like Greg Maddux. I mean, he told an interviewer once, he goes, I'll tell you what I'm going to throw. It's an 88-mile-an-hour sinker, and he goes, most of the time guys won't even swing at it. And you think of a guy like Jamie Moyer, who was really dirty, and not by choice, but he could spot his pitches. And, Scoop, they also had movement on him, too.
Oh, no doubt about it. Those are 2 of the best there. Jamie used to live in my neighborhood, so he's just that crafty lefty that almost pitched into his 50s, it seemed like.
Yep. 3 and 2, second straight batter. We go to a full count. Webb most likely is going to reach back and try and bring Uncle Charlie. Nope. bring some gas. Jamie Moyer, I'll never forget a commercial going into the preseason for the Mariners. They had some of his teammates filming a bullpen, and they had a radar gun on him. It's the 3-2, fouled straight back. We'll do it again. I think it was John Wathen. Was it Dan Wathen or John Wathen? I think it was John Wathen. And somebody else, and they're like, 101, 98. And everybody else is like, what? Moyer? What's going on? As the 3-2 misses upstairs, and Wathen looks over and he goes, it's in kilometers. We got this one from Canada. And Moyer's just sitting there proud of himself. Oh, man.
Oh, classic. Remember that one well.
So a one-out walk brings up Zelenik. Caden 1 for 2 with a single back in the second and a ground out to first in the fourth.
That's the third walk issued by Ike Webb here today.
Infield back, double play depth. This pitch misses low and outside. And we're going to have a meeting on the mound. Coach Weaver saw something, and he's coming out very quickly. Is Webb okay? He was kind of grabbing his side a little bit.
And again, big juncture. You just got a little bit of momentum on your side. You still got a couple innings to work with, but you don't want to make this challenge any more than it is right now. And you have the 8-9 hitters coming up here, so you have to find a way to bear down, hit your spots, and get out of the 6th inning unscathed.
Well, the meeting was quick. Webb trying to bear down. Runner goes, swing, ooh, and it's fouled off. I believe it's the thigh of Ward, and he's going to walk this one off, but he was out of his crouch, and that made him a bit more vulnerable and exposed on that pitch, and he took one where the equipment wasn't.
Yeah, that was off the flesh there on the thigh. And again, Childs was in motion on the pitch, so you saw Colt Ward come up, try to make that quick throw, but when the ball was foul tipped there by Zelenik, that'll leave a mark.
So 1-1. This one a chopper to third. Allegretti goes to second for one. The relay got him! 5-4-3 double play. And the base paths erased for the Preppers here in the top of the 6th. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Defiance got one in the bottom of the last frame. Can they have some more offense? They're going to need it. They trail 4-1. Back right after this, you're watching Division III Baseball Regional Semifinal Playoff action. Brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estel Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco on DCTV Sports.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Welcome you back to Forefront Field in Avon. It is the Division III Baseball Regional Semifinals. Number 3 in the state. University taking on 14th ranked Defiance. The Preppers leading the Bulldogs by a score of 4-1, as it looks like we will have a new right fielder. This is going to be Ryan Cameron.
Make that Cameron Ryan.
Cameron Ryan, excuse me. young man with 2 first names. He will take the place of Miles Wolf. Well, the Bulldogs have had their chances, Scoop. 2 aboard, including in scoring position in the 3rd. A runner left at second base in the 4th. They left 2 aboard, both in scoring position in the 5th. As a matter of fact, they left 2 aboard, both in scoring position in the 2nd. So woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, they've had some opportunities, no doubt about it, but now they're starting to run shy on opportunities. So again, trailing by 3 late innings. You don't have to get all of it here, but boy, this is awfully big 6th inning for Defiance. They've got to push something across here to creep a little closer.
First pitch swinging. Braden Weaver fouls it away. Out of the stretch, Kavanaugh. Ooh, challenged him upstairs, and Weaver swings through it. 0-2.
Good fastball that time by Kavanaugh. And that time, Braden just a little bit tardy on that swing.
This one well above the visor. Weaver laying off.
Kavanaugh, a guy not afraid to amp it up as well.
This one, boy, the bottom fell out of it. That looks like his best bender so far of the afternoon. Weaver caught the top of the ball to stay alive.
A really good piece of hitting that time by Braden Weaver, as that had a lot of late break and run to it. Weaver's able to spoil it. Still down 1-2.
Blew him away with a fastball just above the letters. Weaver couldn't lay off. He couldn't catch up. Wes Banco strikeout for the first out here in the Defiance 6th.
That's the second strikeout for Kavanaugh out of the bullpen. Boy, he's been impressive. He's got a live arm.
So that brings up Grady Christs. Grady reached on an error. And to check that, we've got a pinch hitter here. Excuse me. This is going to be number 0, Xavier Rodriguez.
Right now, Kavanaugh just seems to get stronger and stronger with every pitch.
Rodriguez takes downstairs to jump ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Swings and misses. That fastball looks like it's got a little extra giddy up on it.
Tell you what, that fastball is getting on you in a hurry. That one had some velo and life behind it. Now 2-2 pitch coming up.
Boy, he couldn't lay off of it. Your eyes just get so wide when you see heat upstairs in the zone like that. But Scoop, it looks like he swung at what would have been balls 3 and 4 there.
Yeah, that ball just getting on top of Xavier in a hurry. Now it's 3 Wes Banco strikeouts for Kieran Kavanaugh out of the bullpen here today for the Preppers.
We're going to have another pinch hitter. This is going to be Dallas Mendez. Dallas, right-hander, hitting $179. Well, what did we talk about in the early parts of that game on Saturday with Fairview and Edison? If you don't catch a quality starter early, you may not get opportunities later on in the ball game. Defiance has had their opportunities here. And with the reliever Kavanaugh coming in an inning ago, they had their chances a frame ago as this one swung on and fouled away. Make it 0-2. Kavanaugh is looking stronger and stronger with each passing pitch.
Boy, he just continues to really not just breathe confidence, but his velocity has been there. He's hitting all his pitches, all his spots right now.
This one way upstairs. The 1-2. Blew him away. Capital K, capital K, capital K. 3 straight West Banco strikeouts as Kieran Cavanaugh just blows away the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs, hits, errors, or anyone left aboard. We will head to the top of the 7th. Preppers 4, Bulldogs 1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
Back at Forefront Field, and our apologies to the pitcher in the last half inning for the Preppers. There's a reason why there was a new right fielder. Cam Ryan came in. It's because Miles Wolf was the pitcher on the bump. So it was Miles Wolf doing the damage instead of Cavanaugh. But just the same, the result is 3 straight strikeouts. Nobody even came close to touching the ball, and we head to the top of the 7th.
Yeah, the sophomore Miles Wolf was really impressive. We saw what that heater could do, but he also brings a very plus slider to his repertoire, as we saw as well. And right now, you're asking Ike Webb to go out there and try to keep this game where it's at, give ourselves one last fighting chance. As right now, University will start things off in the 7th here with the 9-hitter senior Will Allen.
Takes first pitch downstairs. The top of the order, Ambucci is on deck. Jack Nelson in the hole. Winner of this one will get the winner of the nightcap here between Southview and Padua Franciscan. And that is scheduled for a 5 o'clock first pitch, so in a little under an hour. Webb deals, popped up on the infield, battling that wind. Hansberger coming in, and he will make the catch.
Yeah, good start for Ike Webb, who seems to have a lot left in the tank. Boy, he's really competing out there, throwing hard. Now that does turn the lineup over to the senior James Bucci, who's been on base all 3 times, has scored a run for the Preppers. Looking for his 3rd hit of the day.
First pitch, Bender clips the inside corner for a strike. Bucci an infield single in the first, reached on an error in the 3rd, and singled to right and brought home a run in the 4th. Wow, nice frame job there by Ward, but inside, outside, and Ike Webb carving up James Bucci through the first 2 pitches. The question is, does he have one to get him for an out? He hasn't been able to yet this afternoon. Humps that one up, and it short hops Ward.
Went with the yellow hammer that time, but that would end up being about a 59-footer.
This one got him on his front foot, popped up, shallow right field, and ranging over. Catch made. As a matter of fact, we need to recognize the new right fielder, as that's Reed Rollison in right. There's 2 away.
Again, Webb continues to throw hard, hitting his spots, doing a great job of mixing in things as well. Looking for a 1-2-3 7th.
Now looking ahead in the bottom of the frame for Defiance, they'll need at least 3. It'll be the 9-hole Will Horvath. His first pitch swinging. This ball ripped off the bat of Jack Nelson and into left field for a 2-out single.
That's the first hit off of Webb since the 4th inning, but a great swing that time by the junior Jack Nelson. That'll bring up older brother Deacon Nelson, who's been a tough out today as well.
He flew out to left in his last at bat. He's also walked and been hit by a pitch. Again, looking ahead to the bottom of the inning for Defiance, it will be the 9-hole Will Horvath. And the lineup turns over one more time. It'll be the 4th trip to the plate for Colt Ward and Jaron Hansberger. Defiance will need a few more than that as they trail 4-1. Nelson just doesn't leave the box. Runner goes. This one short hops Ward, and he never had a chance. Jack Nelson in easily with a stolen base.
And now you wonder if they're going to maybe just put Deacon Nelson on.
I think it's percentage baseball, don't you?
Well, I sure do.
Coach Weaver telling Rollison, who's playing way too deep in right field, to come in. But right now they're going to pitch to him with a 2-0 count. Webb. Maybe this is another intentional walk.
I think they're going to put him on now.
And now they are. I think Coach Weaver just came out and motioned to the home plate umpire, and they are going to give him first base.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a no-brainer once Jack Nelson took second base. And that's not to be disrespectful to Bobby Berglund, who's at the plate now. You know, he's nearly a 400 hitter, but Deacon Nelson, again, an Auburn commit for his bat, hitting well over 400, made that an easy decision for the Bulldogs.
So here's Berglund digging in. 0 for 3 on the day, a pair of ground outs to short and 1 to second. And at least for the time being, a favorite of the university student section.
Which is made up of entirely boys.
Yep.
All guys school in northeastern Ohio.
About an hour drive from Avon. So on a ground ball, great snare by Allegretti, and he backs up Jack Nelson and makes the tag. And that will do it for the Preppers here in the top of the 7th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, couple left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Bulldogs down to their final 3 outs of the season. They need at least 3 runs, or this one's in the books. We're back with the bottom of the 7th. You're watching Division III Baseball Regional Semifinal Playoff action, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estel Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco, as always, on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Stamball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stamball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
Well, the scene at Forefront Field in Avon. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Division III Regional Semifinal Baseball Playoff action. Ranked number 14 in the state, Defiance down to their final 3 outs as 3rd-ranked University has just had a little too much here. But Scoop, we're going to close the book on Ike Webb. And he goes 7 innings, allows 5 hits, 4 runs, only 1 earned. He walked 3 while striking out 4, but 1 inning. Specifically that 3rd inning where they threw the ball away on a couple of key plays that allowed those 3 runs to come home, and right now those spell the difference in a 4-1 ball game.
You're right. Those 3 unearned runs make it 4-1. It could easily be a 1-1 game as Ike Webb has really just competed. I've been impressed with the way he's battled all afternoon. Those numbers very impressive, holding this university team to just 5 hits, 118 pitches, 71 via the strike. You know, he was very good on his time in the bump, and he's hoping for an 8th inning. If the Bulldogs get 3 here, they go extras, but he is down to his last 7 pitches. But he would love to use all 7 if given the opportunity.
Well, bite your tongue. If Rick Weaver were listening to us and he's going to say, Scoop, if we're going to score 3, why don't we just score 4 and walk it off?
Well, that was my point. If they only score 3 and not 4.
Right now, Will Horvath just needs to find a way aboard. They got to get 2 on the base paths just to bring the tying run to the plate. And Will Horvath showed bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 2. This one misses upstairs, and I believe this is still, number 19. This is going to be Miles Wolf for his 2nd innings worth of work. He struck out the side and did it in strong fashion, and he gets a wave and a miss here on Horvath, and he's picking up where he left off. 4 straight West Banco strikeouts for Wolf.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. Again, controlling the count, hitting his spots, getting Defiance to expand the zone there. Boy, he's been perfect out of the pen.
So the lineup turns over. Colt Ward, 2 for 3 with the only run scored this afternoon for Defiance. Takes downstairs. This is a matchup I'm really interested to see here, Scoop. Power pitcher, good solid contact hitter.
Yeah, two really good at what they do.
1-0. And also a good eye. Ward is not offering it pitches that some of his other Defiance teammates are.
Well, Ward understands he's not going to tie it up here down 3 with no one on base with 1 swing, so he wants to be that table setter.
Upstairs. It also helps when you're the catcher. You should know what the strike zone is, right?
You would hope so, certainly by the 7th inning.
3-0. Got a feeling number 30's taking here, but we'll wait and see. Wolf out of the stretch, even with nobody aboard. And it's in there at the knees. Now he's thinking, boy, that's a pitch that most lefties love. Down and in. We'll see if Wolf doubles him up. And this one well struck down the right field line. Does it get by Ryan? Nope, he ranges over to cut it off. Well, he tried, and Colt Ward, have yourself a game. His 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Well, that kind of answers your question. Good pitching doesn't always negate good hitting, and good hitting that time prevailed. And how about Colt Ward? Just professional swing, continues to swing it. 3 consecutive hits now for the sophomore. And right now, Defiance just trying to find a way to keep the line moving, get that tying run to the dish here. That currently is in the on-deck circle.
Hansberger takes a strike. That tying run represented by Jace Brownlee in the on-deck circle. Hansberger 0 for 2 with a walk. Late swing. And Scoop, as we saw in that last inning, that fastball up above the letters, but out of the zone is just too tough for them to lay off of.
Yeah, that's been a problem pitch all day, and you're just never going to hit that pitch with the velo behind it.
And he takes a strike on the inside corner. He disagrees. But the Bulldogs down to their final out.
And how about Kavanaugh? 5 West Banco strikeouts now. All of his outs have been recorded
via the
strikeout.
So here's Brownlee, 1 for 3 with a single. First pitch swinging, liner into center field, right at Nelson, who makes the catch. And that is your ball game. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. And the story of the afternoon, good contact, but right at him. And Defiance's season comes to an end in Avon in the regional semifinals a valiant effort. But the Bulldogs will wrap it up with a 17-10 record as the Preppers now pick up win number 26 on the season against just 5 losses. Final score 4-1. We're going to take a quick timeout. Back with your postgame right after this. You're watching the Division III Baseball Regional Semifinals, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Well, there you see the victorious team huddle as the third-ranked team in the state, Hunting Valley University, proving why. Trying to get back to Akron. They made the state championship game a season ago. They got a push today by 14th-ranked Defiance, and Defiance will look back on this one and think woulda, coulda, shoulda. But in the end, the Preppers, with 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. The Bulldogs 1 run on 5 hits, 2 costly errors that brought home 3 unearned runs in the third. And Scoop, you can sit here and say rallies here that didn't come through. The clutch hit, avoiding them when they had runners at second and third on 2. Was it maybe 3 separate innings? But again, defensively in that third inning, 2 key errors that allowed the difference in this ball game to come home. And I know it'll be a long bus ride home for Defiance, but at the same time, hopefully here in another week or 2, they'll be able to look back on this one and really hold their heads high. This team had a tremendous season.
They really did. It's certainly always tough. You never want it to end on an L, but this team has so much to be proud of. If you think about it, Brent, 43 consecutive winning seasons now by Defiance Baseball. This team was able to bring home the 30th ever WBL Baseball Championship. They also won their 36th sectional title, their 21st district championship, only to fall short against a very solid university team that we saw here this afternoon in Avon.
I'm doing a quick look here. Out of the 8 runners left on base, 6 in scoring position for Defiance. And Scoop, again, you talk about high leverage situations. Defiance put themselves, and more specifically, Prepper pitchers, in 8 high leverage situations, and almost on every occasion the Preppers came up with the play that they needed.
Yeah, you got to tip your cap. That's a really good team, and not to say Defiance isn't, because Defiance, as you said, really, if you take away those 8 LOBs and then the 3 unearned runs, boy, we're still playing some baseball right now, and possibly Defiance win this in 7. But again, that's a good team. They made it to the state championship game last year to fall short 1-0, but Defiance gave it all they had. It's going to sting a little bit, but the sun will come up tomorrow, and they will eventually realize what a great year they've had here, even by Defiance standards.
Well, again, we take a look at on the bump, and let's start with the Bulldogs and Ike Webb. He throws 118 pitches, 71 strikes in 7 innings. He allows 5 hits, 4 runs, as we mentioned, only 1 earned. He walked 3 while striking out 4. On the flip side, Deacon Nelson got just his 4th start of the season. He goes 4 innings. Last check, pitch count, I had him for 56 through 4, and I think, did they bring in? Yeah. So he threw 56 through 4. He allows just 2 hits, no runs. He walked 2 while striking out 2, and was the recipient of some very solid defense.
Yeah, well, their defense was really impressive, especially when you have that trickle-down effect. Remember, Deacon Nelson, their normal shortstop, with him on the bump, they moved a third baseman to short. They move a new performer into third base. It didn't matter. Boy, those guys were really good across the board.
Offensively at the plate, Colt Ward leading the charge for the Bulldogs this afternoon as he goes 3 for 4 and scores the only run for Defiance. Jace Brownlee goes 1 for 4. Braden Weaver goes 1 for 3. But again, opportunities, high leverage situations, and the Preppers just came up with the big play or the strikeout when they needed it. At the plate for University, James Bucci goes 2 for 4 with a run scored. Jack Nelson 1 for 3 with a run scored. Deacon Nelson, they didn't pitch to him. And you can understand why when you're hitting 440 with an on-base percentage of 628. And yet he still finds a way to score, even though he goes hitless 0 for 4 with a run scored. Then the bottom of the order getting the job done as Jack Childs goes 1 for 2 with a run scored. And Caden Zelenik goes 1 for 3 with an RBI. So as we talked about, with only 1 member of the lineup hitting below 300, there really were no easy outs in this Prepper lineup.
No doubt about it. That's a team that's won a lot of ball games for a reason, now 26-5. And again, they really beef up their schedule, so they're playing the Jonathan Alders. They're trying to go down and play the Vandalia Butlers. I mean, they're playing the big dogs. And today they ran into a big dog, Defiance, but Defiance just could not get that timely hit. And all in all, the Preppers will move to tomorrow night's regional championship right here in Avon.
And they will take on the winner of game number 2 here this evening as Southview and Padua Franciscan getting set to warm up. And there you take a look at the brackets. Of course, the top half. Look, the sludge is gone this deep into the playoffs. You have nothing but quality teams left. And anybody that's going to get to Akron, just by the look of those brackets, Scoop, you're going to have to earn it.
Oh, no doubt about it. And that's why you have to get hot at the right time, play your best baseball at the right time, and if you do that, then you've got a chance. Anything short of that, you're going to go home on an L.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We will not be joined by anybody post-game. As a matter of fact, they're clearing off the field pretty quickly as the next one scheduled to start here in a little under 40 minutes. We're going to let Coach Weaver basically spend some time with his crew and hopefully impart some of the things that we were just talking about up here as their season comes to an end. But Defiance, with nothing to hang their heads about, 17-10 to end the year. But today they just run into a little too much of a buzzsaw, the third-ranked team in Division III, and University advances with a 4-1 win. We're going to take a quick timeout. Back with more of the postgame right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
And we welcome you back up to the booth here at Forefront Stadium in Avon, Division III Regional Semifinal Playoff Baseball. Again, our thanks going out to our sponsors here this afternoon, going above and beyond their regular season sponsorship. Look, Scoop, we've had so many area teams make deep runs in the playoffs. Our sponsorships are so appreciated. And ladies and gentlemen, we cannot stress this enough. Not just during the regular season, but again, going above and beyond what their regular sponsorships are. Folks, if you appreciate our coverage of the postseason, please walk through these businesses' stores, patronize them, let them know how much you appreciate it, and let them know that we appreciate it as well, bringing you the best in the area in sports coverage. This afternoon, our game brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, the Defiance Athletic Boosters, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and West Banco. Defiance's season comes to an end at the hand of the number 3 ranked team in the state in Division III. Again, the Preppers of University advance with a 4-1 win. As I look down here, the Bulldogs now finally breaking up their post-game huddle down the third base line. Coach Weaver doing a few interviews with some local TV stations. And again, only 7 teams finished the season, Scoop, with a win. And those are the ones that put championship hardware on the bus ride home with them. But Defiance had a tremendous season. We talked a little bit about it during the pregame on the heels of last year's seniors. And those seniors did it in back-to-back years. But 22-2 last year, ending in the first round of the playoffs. They just had one bad afternoon, but it was collective. But Coach Weaver talked about how happy he was for this year's group of seniors, and they've got nothing to hang their heads about.
Yeah, if you don't realize how hard it is to reach the regional tournament, you weren't paying attention last year, because we saw one of the top teams in Ohio go out first round of the sectional. So there's no guarantees. It's a game of baseball. You have to do things well. You have to get the ball to bounce your way sometimes. So for this team to win their 21st ever district title, that speaks volumes. And again, as we mentioned, 43 consecutive seasons now, Defiance has had a winning record in baseball. Just incredible. These guys have raised the bar here at Defiance, which is never an easy task to do.
And a good-looking group of Defiance faithful that are waiting for their squad as they come up the steps through the third base gate. But we want to thank our crew for doing a great job. That's about a 2.5-hour drive over here, but Josh Bush and the rest of our camera guys and producers doing, as usual, their bang-up job. We, again, want to thank our sponsors for helping make the broadcast a possibility, and, as always, you, the fan, for tuning in. Again, for Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot. Final score, Division III Regional Semifinal Baseball from Forefront Stadium in Avon. The Preppers advance 4-1 over the Bulldogs. We will talk to you Wednesday night at Elida, as we'll have Division V Regional Semifinal Playoff action. Baseball playoff action. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen, as Bearview will be taking on Liberty Benton. For now, signing off, you've been watching another presentation of DCTV Sports.